never before seen. I'm going to be your host tonight as we bring you speedruns of categories that have never before been seen in a mainline GDQ event. As always, if you happen to speedrun a game or category that has never been run in an AGDQ, SGDQ, or GDQx event, and you'd like to submit it to the show, type !NBS into the chat to find the link to be able to send me your runs, and I would love to have you on board. So before we get started with the runs that we have planned for tonight, we do have a few announcements. So first and foremost, if you enjoyed Frost Fatales, March 26th, we will have the Frame Fatales Game of the Month celebration on GDQ Hotfix. Go to gamesdonequick.com/Frame Fatales for more info about Frame Fatales. And if you're watching on YouTube, hi! And you should go to twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick if you're interested in looking at our live content starting weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern and weekends at 1 p.m. Eastern. Your subs, gift subs, Prime Gaming subs, and bits help support weekly Hotfix content, so consider supporting our daily content over here if you enjoy these Hotfix shows. And if you have any ideas for your own show or maybe a one-off event, maybe you have a game anniversary coming up and you'd like to do a big relay race or something, feel free to go to gamesdonequick.com/Hotfix to submit your ideas. And speaking of one-off events, Sonic and the Glitchless Gauntlet, the latest edition to the Sonic and the series of events, is coming April 9th and 10th. This 2-day marathon is going to be featuring glitchless speedruns from the Sonic series, and submissions are open right now and close on March 25th. So check out the !GG command in chat for the link to submit to the event if you're interested in that. Now, that said, I'm really thrilled to have never before seen back from hiatus and with two absolutely incredible completionist-style runs by awesome runners. We're kicking things off tonight with a fan favorite, which is Celeste, run by Fel the Curl, and he's going to be collecting all 175 red strawberries in the game, but doing it without utilizing the ability to grab walls in the game, which is, kind of a central mechanic to the game. He's joined by the wonderful Shredberg and Eric J. Math on commentary, and I'm thrilled to have all of them on board tonight. So how are you doing tonight, everyone?
Doing fantastic. I'm really excited to be on the show, showing off my favorite category with two of my best friends. They can go and introduce themselves. Shredberg, you first.
Hi, I'm Shredberg. I have speedrun Celeste a bit, not grabless ever, former any % world record holder on Stadia. And then next we got Eric J. Math.
That's me. I have played Celeste before.
That's true. There's something else that we all have in common that I'd like to share because it really kind of brings us together. Our kind of sense of camaraderie together is that we're all actually Captain Toad speedrunners, which is very, very important to our friendship. Anyway, today I'll be running Grabless All Red Berries, which is interesting category. We're going to be utilizing the variant in-game to the no grabbing variant to do some pretty funny stuff, which is not actually exactly the same as just not pressing the grab button. I actually ended up using the grab button in this grabless run quite a bit, which is just kind of a funny side effect about how the grabless variant is coded, but we'll get more into that later. I think I'm about ready to do a countdown. I'm going to going on go in 3, 2, 1, go. First we got prologue, where we got to turn on the variant, so just a little bit of menuing. Prologue is weird because this is where they teach you grab, and I can't do that, but there is this trick in order to get up walls without climbing them called neutral jumping, where I basically hold neutral, which is a funny phrase to say, when I jump off of a wall, and then I will hold back towards the wall and I'm able to climb it without using any stamina, and I can gain height that way. So City is not super eventful. City is kind of just like an awkward chapter for Grabless, but things are going to start to get really, really spicy the later we get in this run. But for now, there's not a whole lot to really talk about. I cannot grab the walls, and that is unfortunate. There is...
How many berries are in this chapter?
That's a 21? Is that 20? Correct? 20? Yeah, I don't actually know. I know the route very well. I can tell you the numbers, though. I know some people have like numbers memorized so they know when they missed a berry, which is a smart thing to do.
We're going to go with 20, and if I'm wrong, you can blame me.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to blame you anyway.
You should know the numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's definitely one of the least eventful chapters in this run, but we got to get through it nonetheless.
So I have a question for you. How did you get into doing grabless ARB?
Oh boy, that is a good question. So it all started with grabless any percent. I was inspired by a good friend of mine, fellow Celeste runner Spirialis, who kind of pioneered a lot of the grabless stuff alongside another runner named Uni. So Spirialis is only submitted any percent run on the leaderboards is a 4-hour run that was essentially the first grabless any percent run. And so after being inspired by that, I ventured into grabless like 80% myself. And then I ended up bringing the record for that down pretty low into the 30s until it was eventually taken from me by our good friend Crichter. But I just kind of branched out to ARB at one point. I don't really remember exactly what caused it, but I've had a lot of fun. This is, I tell people this all the time, but this is like my favorite category in this game. It's just so different than vanilla gameplay, but still having all the same stuff that makes like vanilla runs really fun. It's got the fast movement, it's got like hard skips. It's fun to optimize, especially because nobody else has really done it before.
Because you've played regular ARB, right? Before a little bit.
Not really. I've done a couple like YOLO runs where I didn't really learn any strats, but I just kind of did it. But I never really learned the traditional, and it's kind of funny because I had to my big goal for this category was to bring it to below an hour, and in order to get sub 1 in this category, which I did do recently actually, just like earlier this week, I think, I had to learn like a lot of like actual ARB strats that I had never learned before, because this category has always really been like a completion challenge for the people who have done it. It's just extremely hard. You know, this is a category where like if the trick has 1 frame perfect input, you're like, oh, okay, we don't need to worry about it. You know, it's just 1 frame perfect input. But I've taken it upon myself to try and optimize it to a certain extent, and that has required me to learn a lot more of all red berries than I ever really intended to.
So can you 100% the game with grabless, or what are the limitations of it?
You cannot. There are some B and C sides that you cannot do. The ones that come to mind right off the bat are 4B and 3B, as well as 4C maybe. But I know for a fact that 4B and 4C and 7B are not possible. However, it was just found out like actually today that Farewell with the new glitch that allows you to keep 2 dashes throughout the whole chapter actually makes grabless Farewell possible. It's just extraordinarily stupid. Nomus did a lot of the labbing, who is actually in chat right now for that, but it is possible.
Yeah, I was going to actually ask, like, I think Farewell wasn't possible because you have to be able to grab jellyfish and hold them. That counts as grabbing, right?
That actually is not the reason why. So actually, because because we use the grabless variant instead of just unbinding our grab button, we actually can grab Theo and we can grab jellyfish.
Ah, okay. Just not walls or other things like that, right?
Yeah, and there are conveyors in this game where if you grab onto them, they'll kind of pull you upwards. And those are all over Farewell. There's a couple in particular that were not possible to do with just 1 dash, but are actually possible to circumvent now with 2 dashes. In extremely stupid ways. I think there's like one room with like 4 frame perfect inputs that you have to do to get through it, but it's possible. You can do it. It might just take you a while.
Also, all aboard the strawberry train.
I'm gonna try and be a little careful because it's very punishing to lose berries in this category.
Yeah.
And
in a reset environment where you're like streaming or whatever, if you die with like 6 berries, you would just reset.
Yeah, exactly. But
we're trying to avoid this.
Exactly. So I'm gonna try to be. There's a few berries in particular that are like infamous for being very droppable. So I'm gonna try and do my best to collect those so I don't have to go back. I mean, it's not the end of the world. The run is still easily completable. You can just go back and collect them later. But obviously that loses time, so want to avoid that if possible.
Yeah, there is definitely a piece of fan art that exists based on losing a berry train here in chapter 2, actually, that I drew like a couple years back. So yes.
Yeah. This is always the infamous one, because it's so easy to just carry like 7 or 8 berries at a time in this chapter.
Now, Fel, correct me if I'm wrong, but you need 4 hearts to enter core in this round.
That is true, and normally the regular all red berries route takes the heart in 3A, 4A. Sorry, 1A, 3A, and 4A. I got the one in 1A, and then they also get one in 6B. People oftentimes ask me, does 6B save time in ARB grablets? To which I answer, probably. I just do it because it's funny.
Right, the sort of beginner route that some people do is to get the 2A heart, but you did not get that. So
that's
correct. We're definitely going to see some grabless 6B in this.
Indeed, which is not as hard as it sounds actually, but it is definitely still challenging. All right, not too bad of an old site so far.
I didn't even realize that the 2A heart was that slow. It feels really fast.
It takes like 22 seconds to collect-ish, I think, which is a pretty significant amount of time. Ooh.
Right, and then you also have to compare, because then you have to do 6A anyways, and there's no berries there, so
right.
You're kind of doing 2.
So you have to complete chapter 6 anyway, so you might as well get a heart while you're doing it, especially if it's not. Wow, this is good. There we go. Usually it's not that bad, but.
And chapter 6 has no berries.
That's
for
correct.
Anybody who has not played the game.
Correct.
Indeed.
You're so wise.
Also,
in the ways of Celeste.
I just personally think that 6B is a much more fun level, so I wanted to do that instead.
I like the music better in 6A, but like 6B is very, very impressive, let alone grabless.
It's definitely a big point of contention, whether people prefer 6A and 6B. There's kind of, people take sides in that war. Also, I'm going to try something really stupid and it's not going to work. But if it does, it'll work. It'll defy physics. Okay, well, we'll try it one more time. Okay, well, I gave it 2 tries. Oh no, how do I get out of this? There we go. I told myself I wasn't going to do that today because it was really hard, and I still tried it. I'm proud of that.
Gotta go for it once.
Of course. Oh, I missed the key. That's okay. We can get
nice.
How do I have to go back. I've never missed the key like that before. First time for everything. So in Resort, this is where the run kind of starts. Getting a little spicy. There's a couple of required tricks that are like kind of difficult in this chapter. Oh, okay. Well, now we've already lost the berry that I have to go back for. Okay.
This is going to be the first instance of some pause buffering, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct. There are a couple of tricks in this chapter that I will be using pause buffering to do, which was kind of made more possible. Through a relatively recent update that Celeste got, that essentially just made it easier to rebuffer pauses to frame advance the game. Is the long story short there?
Right. That'll be coming up pretty soon, I think.
Yes, it is in the start checkpoint. Soon. Oh, yeah. There's a berry that's pretty infamous that I will be using pauses to do something pretty cool to get.
And what kind of things? There's a little bit of talk in chat about what does grabless mean. So we talked a little bit about grabless variant. What kind of stuff is still possible with the grabless variant, and what is not possible?
That is an excellent question. Yes. So the grabless variant, basically, the reason that it exists is so that you can activate blocks, quote unquote, without grabbing, because there are. Technically 1, but in reality 2, blocks that are required to activate in order to beat the game. So if you were to just unbind your grab button, you would technically still have to, you wouldn't be able to complete Summit. There's a block that's in the way you need to activate. So the Grabless variant allows us to activate blocks without needing to grab. Okay, here's the pause buffer trick, by the way. Hopefully this won't take me too many tries, okay? Set up. There we go. Okay. Very tight hyper buddy hop there to grab that berry and get back.
What is hypering? Which one is hypering?
Hypering is the down right and jump. It's down diagonal to the, yeah. Hypering, and so Celeste Tech has a lot of confusing names, and people often confuse hypering and supering, but hypering is the really fast one.
What is supering?
Supering is just another word for a dash jump.
Oh, that's right. And then wave dashing is a different thing between those as well?
Wave dashing is effectively just hypering, but you start in the air, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
In air hyper. Gotcha.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Also, demo dashing is a thing, and I didn't really get the time to explain it, but I went through a wall there. We can essentially crouch jump or crouch dash, which is not supposed to happen. Or I guess it now is supposed to happen. So the long story short is through through a piece of tech that is now canon, as in it's now officially in the game. We can crouch dash and fit right in between the hitboxes of some of the dust bunnies, which allow us to go through walls sometimes, which is pretty cool. So I'm going back to get the heart right now, because as Eric mentioned earlier, I need 4 hearts in this run just because we go to core.
So why do you go all the way across there? I know it's a checkpoint thing, but...
Yeah, so you want to... The long story short, you want to reset your respawn point to this part, like top left of the room. And then you want to go back, collect the heart, and retry. That actually allows us to skip going back to the main hub and talking to Oshiro, and just places us right in the books section of Huge Mess, which is a neat little sequence break. It's actually one that people don't really talk about a whole lot, but that is technically a sequence break that we have in this game, of which there are not that many of.
Oh, that is true. Mm-hmm. Actually, there's quite a bit of sequence breaks. You do the B sides, which unlock the next A side, and that's like a complete.
I guess you could consider
break.
that a sequence break. Yeah, that's a pretty big one. Oh, nice! I got the hard room first try. Let's go. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lots of other speed tech is possible even with grabless, like things that you wouldn't expect. Like
yes, okay, yeah,
boost,
yeah.
right?
That's a great point. I was going to go into that, but forgot about it. But yeah,
okay.
corner boosting is a piece of tech where you essentially climb jump with speed on a corner in order to gain speed, which you obviously you can't climb jump without grabbing, but so because of the way the grabless variant is coded, you actually grab during dash state, so we can execute things like corner boosts and a couple other funny situations that I can showcase off later with like red bubbles. But there are basically a couple things with the grabless variant that allow us to simulate grabs, which are quite funny, but sometimes really fast. This is a long story short. Also, I'm going to mention that I'm going to do the famous demo dash coming up here pretty shortly, which does not save time grabless, but it looks a lot cooler, so I'm going to do it anyway.
I think there should be style points in speedrunning.
Indeed, I think so as well. I agree.
I place a high value on style points. It's like, oh, this is slower or about the same time, but it looks really cool.
So that sounds worth to me.
Yep. Or even just the hey, this doesn't really save any time, but it looks cool even though it loses a ton of time if I fail it. So heck it, we're doing it anyways. Nice, good stuff.
Oh, also there's that demo dash.
So do those demo dashes, I know you're lining up pixels and stuff, do a lot of those just happen? Do you need to line those up like on a certain frame or
Yeah, so all demo dashes are pixel perfect. Some of them we can guarantee multiple frames on that same pixel, but not for most of them. The two that I just did were frame perfect.
Amazing.
One of which I paused for, one of which I didn't, because I'm just used to it that way. That makes sense. Coming up, the end of this chapter can be difficult to do consistently, so hopefully I won't have too much trouble here. This last stream.
It's like an infamous difficult room for all speedrunners.
This is fine.
Nice intended.
I missed the berry. That's okay. I'll just go back around and get it. This is all part of the plan.
Ah.
First try.
First try. Oh, that was close. Okay.
Everything is under control.
Yeah,
everything is fine.
All on purpose. That's all intended.
All intended. Yeah, exactly. So I did miss that one berry. So I'm just gonna go back and get that now before I forget. And by miss, I mean I dropped it because I died with it.
Same thing.
Yeah. It shouldn't take very long.
You didn't? Are you saying that you didn't grab it?
You could. One could say that. Yeah. One could go that far. All right, there we go. We got it. All right, cool.
Nice.
All right, into Ridge. This is so when people go through the game grab list normally, this is the chapter where they start to bang their head into the wall because there are a couple rooms that can be extraordinarily challenging first time grab lists. However, I have played more grab lists than anybody else on Earth, so we should be able to get through it okay. There is one really funny room. Hold on, I want this berry. There's one really funny room later in the chapter that I'm excited to get to because everyone, when they see it for the first time, everyone's really excited because it looks really funny. But you'll know it when you see it. Oh God.
So with demos, you're basically demoing like most of the time when you're doing dashes, right? Or is it not that common? How common are you actually doing demo dashes?
You would be surprised how many times that demo dashing is actually more harmful than helpful.
Okay.
And the reason, that was a mistake. The reason why is it's just like it's positionally different than regular dashing. Your hitbox is in a different spot, which has different properties. And in a game where like there's a lot of like correction for things like corner correction or like ceiling correction, like the game will like nudge your hitbox various one. Oh, I gotta count.
It's hard.
Yeah, I miscounted too. I should have stopped the sentence earlier. I did again. Okay.
Quick, Shredberg, say something.
True.
Hello.
Oh no, this is fine.
You can time it. This looks like what I do whenever I try to do red berry stuff. Nice.
Yeah,
except for I grab.
Yeah, that's true. I don't even remember what I was talking about before that. My brain's like, wait, shit, you gotta count. Okay.
Happens to the best
Shoot.
of us.
This room has 2 berries, and that's wild to me.
It does have 2
the only
berries.
room with 2 berries?
No, there's a room with 3 berries.
That's
There's a room with
correct.
3 berries? I'm going to be honest with you. That's too many berries.
It is the most infamous room of this run, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
Wait, which room has 3 berries?
It is the last room in 2,500 meters.
Oh, that's right.
Oh
that
no,
does.
you're right.
Yep. Which is the point at which most people stop playing grab lists because they just give up.
That room is particularly evil for a reason that we will see eventually.
Yes, indeed.
But probably less evil because of pause buffering.
Indeed it is. Dang. This room is surprisingly hard. And yeah, it's gonna take me a couple tries probably. Oop.
Oh, is that so? Normally you would be grabbing that thing that would pull you up there. What do you call the thing that you grab that brings you?
An auto scroller block?
Yeah,
Something like that?
I just call it a ridge block. There we go. Okay, yeah. So that jump is like surprisingly precise that I just got, but we're through.
Yeah, so the only reason you're able to activate these, is that right? Is by grabbing?
That's
By
correct.
pressing the grab button, but you're not actually grabbing, you're just
Yeah,
pressing.
so if I were to show it in slow motion, I mean, I would just be sliding off of these blocks basically, but they would be activating as I did so. It's basically how it works, and that is in order to make the game possible with the grabless variant. 'Cause otherwise it
This
just
heart
wouldn't be.
is, I think, in my opinion, the most obvious of the hearts to grab.
Yeah, maybe if you
the
were
Mario
born
block.
in like year 3. That's true.
Maybe if you're
4.
old like Shredberg.
Yeah, if you were old like Shredberg.
For whatever reason, people think that that's like the least obvious place, and people will complain about getting the heart there, even though it's like the most obvious callback to Super Mario Bros. 3 I've ever seen. But I guess people just aren't experts on Super Mario Bros. 3, which is, I don't know.
I had to look that one up. I had no idea what I was looking at.
There's a lot of people who didn't play the game, or especially younger players have never probably seen that in their lives. Whereas like, I'm dating myself here, but just like SMB3 was like one of my first Mario games, and I was just like,
Yeah,
oh
same.
yeah, that's a thing that you can do. So I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh, that's so cool. Is this a Super Mario Bros. 3 reference? And it was.
It took a lot of pauses, but we got there.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that is, you're doing a ceiling pop there? Or what exactly are you doing?
That is, so basically I'm demoing underneath the wall, and my hitbox will uncrouch at the exact pixel that I'm like still in contact with the wall, so I can kick off of the wall and on the other side of
Gotcha.
it. To
That's
reach,
wild.
Yeah, that is a frame perfect one. A fun one, at the very least.
And that's something that beat point
So
what?
good. It saves 0.6, I think, in like regular 90%, but like nobody goes for it because it's frame perfect.
Okay, I was going to ask if in regular, red berries or any percent of stuff like that is gone for,
Yeah.
or how often.
Yeah, no, that one's not worth going for in particular, but okay, we're coming up on a pretty funny room. The funny room that I was talking about earlier. It's the first berry in the last checkpoint in this chapter. But again, you will. Oh, dang, that was close. You'll know it when you see it.
I'm waiting in anticipation.
Me
I feel like
too.
I've seen this run many, many times, but I realize now that when I watch those, I was not paying as much attention as I thought I was, because I don't know half of these strats.
Right, so it's a little hard to see what's going on here, but basically there's an amount of frames, a small amount of frames, maybe just 1 or 2, I don't even know, where these blocks with the spikes on top are respawning, and you can actually stand on them
Let's
before the spikes load in. And first try, very nice.
That's wild.
Yep.
That's crazy.
So that's a fun one. It's a little more lenient than 1 or 2 frames, but it's still not easy. And there's a lot of parts of that room that are like really precise.
Yeah, that looked really clean. Nice work, Phil.
Thank you. Now for some of my favorite rooms in the game. Let's see if I
I
can
love
hit
the
them.
snowballs. So
Nice.
speedrunners at a certain point with the snowballs, their strats basically make it to where those aren't going to bug them. And obviously you're going to have strats, so it's not going to bug you. But I feel like Grabless, you're going to make a bit more mistakes sometimes. Do the snowballs
yeah.
ever troll you as much as normal categories, or what?
Yeah, there's one in particular at the end of that like very. Can I recover this? The answer is no. At the end of the very long room in this checkpoint, that I'm sure a lot of people have gotten owned by casually as well. That sometimes trolls me, and it's just because the ARB strat makes it like really, really tight. Like sometimes the snowball will appear at the end of the room and slap you in the face, and other times you'll just barely get there in time, and you'll get past it. So now Mirror Temple. This chapter was always the hardest for me in this run because I never ever learned how to speedrun 5A.
Did you go straight to 5B?
I went straight to 5B, which is faster for the 80% route. For those who are unfamiliar with this game, you can actually play the B-sides, which are harder versions of the levels, to progress through the game. I went straight for 5B, so I never learned a lot of the rooms in 5A, and that will become painfully apparent later. But we'll get there when we get there. I've done my best to learn.
Since there's all these berries, though, obviously you cannot do 5B.
Indeed, it would be nice.
5B has the better music.
It does.
It's true. Best in the game.
Someone else who understands me. Thank you.
You just can't have that take when Farewell exists. I'm sorry.
That's a Farewell has some good stuff.
Farewell is the song
yeah.
Farewell in Farewell is like it's so good.
There's incredible music in Farewell. I'm thinking more base game prior to Farewell.
That is a fair opinion. I personally think 5B is the second best song in the game, behind 4B.
So you're a 4B'er, huh?
Yeah, which I know Shredberg doesn't appreciate.
I just don't get it.
Somebody's got
it.
People stand that song, and I'm just like, it's good. It's like the whole soundtrack. It's just it's no 5B, you know.
I was a big fan of the artist who made that song, even before Celeste. And when I saw it was them, I was
4B?
like in love with the ghost.
Okay, nice.
So I was maybe that's part of it. I was just really excited to see their name on the soundtrack. Okay, this is one I'm gonna collect. It's very easy to die in this next room. We didn't, but just in case. I want to go back for any more berries.
How many frames does it lose to wait until the berry is collected?
You can quote me on this because I'm probably wrong. I think 9.
9 frames, cool.
I'm sure if
my dissertation.
If Nomus is still in chat, he'll know. So has somebody. So yeah, he is probably. I mean, maybe he doesn't actually. But I certainly don't know.
Gotcha.
Oh no, I'm deaf.
Nomus confirmed that it's 9 frames.
I'm literally so smart, actually.
Genius.
Yeah.
See, I knew you were a scholarly source on this.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, this is, I mean, and on top of this being the chapter I'm less familiar with, this is also just one of the more awkward chapters in Grabless. There are a lot of like tight corridors and stuff that make it like very awkward to get through without grabbing.
I feel like this also has like at least casually, I found these berries were sort of the toughest ones. Maybe some in Summit were harder, but overall these are hard berries.
There are a lot of really tough ones in this. I think my 2 hardest were in Resort and Summit. I remember casually. I don't remember a whole lot about my casual playthrough because it was a very long time ago. I have 2,600 hours in this game, which is a lot of hours. It's a lot of hours. But I do remember a couple of berries like really tripping me up. We're actually coming up on what used to be the hardest berry in this category by far. But now due to pause buffering, it's still really hard, but it is at the very least reliable. And it's this one right here. Okay, I'm gonna focus up.
Yeah,
okay.
So this is a pause buffering thing. You couldn't tell that the game was paused. It looked really weird, but there's a button you can press while the game is paused to like hide the pause menu essentially.
Yes, okay, yeah, good point. I forgot to bring that up. But I basically have to pause that entire sequence. If you were watching before this run, you were watching some Mario. And if you're familiar with Mario Advanced Tech, you've heard of regrabs. This game does technically have stuff that could be considered similar to regrabs, but it's on a much more minuscule level. However, we have to use that tech in order to get that berry by pausing the game, by like holding jump and then releasing jump and then repressing jump at like certain frames, but it is extraordinarily precise, and I've only ever done it once without pause buffering. And I would never ever want to do it in a full game run.
So with pause buffering, when you're actually doing that, so you're pausing the game and you're waiting until you're on a certain frame, and then while in the pause menu, you're pressing that button and unpausing, or what are you doing exactly?
It's a little more precise than that. There's a window you get to buffer the input while the game is in the unpause animation.
Okay, so you can't just have like.
Correct.
You don't have an infinite amount of time while it's paused.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You still have just the standard like buffer window to buffer the input, and it's actually a little bit awkward to get used to because it's kind of in the middle, or like it. You have to like wait a little bit because pausing takes longer than the buffer window, so you have to like press the input like on the latter end of the unpause, I guess, animation. Although it's not really an animation; it's just kind of like a sequence. But it's once you get used to it, you can kind of basically guarantee frame perfect inputs with it. It's still hard to execute, and like I'll mess it up sometimes, even though I do it quite a lot. I was like definitely one of the earlier people to implement pause buffering in the game, and so I've got a lot of practice with it, but even I still mess it up sometimes. So into this section of the game, Unraveling, you'll notice, like maybe you'll notice, maybe you won't, that I actually have no idea what I'm doing in this section of the game.
I didn't notice.
This is the one section I never truly learned, but I've picked up a couple of tricks just from watching my fellow runners. And I will be trying to utilize.
There's a Theo in this chapter.
There is a Theo, and despite the fact that we cannot grab anything, the grabless variant actually just allows us to pick up Theo. It's just kind of part of the game to it.
It's because he deserves it.
He does deserve it. He's been a good boy.
Seems fishy to me.
Yeah, well,
it's not no grabs, it's grab less. So
true,
you're just doing it less than normal. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we're not grabbing him, we're carrying. There's a very big difference.
That's true.
I went to school for this.
My school didn't have that major. I would have had that if.
Yeah,
so.
I'm sure you would have. I know that you in particular would have.
Yeah. One of my hobbies, not grabbing things.
Okay, so there's a cool trick here that'll hopefully take me less than 400 tries.
399.
There we go.
Nice.
398.
That's only 4.
Yeah. Well, yeah, probably. Oh, wait. So that also messes up the camera, but that's okay. Uh-oh. That's okay. Oh, man.
Is that supposed to launch you up?
No.
Like it normally? No? Okay, it's a tight jump.
Yeah, it's just a jump. But there we go, we got it. First try, I think that was.
That was definitely first try.
Yeah. So we gotta be very careful here to not use this key that I have in my pocket. Because if we do, I'm gonna have to get another key, and I don't know if I can remember how to do that.
Yeah, there are ways.
There are ways. There exist 3 keys in this checkpoint.
Casually, this area took me forever to find things just because it is an absolute maze.
That's pretty large.
It is huge.
Yeah, even in my casual playthrough, I skipped the maze because I was just like, I was not having it. I did not. Well, no, my casual playthrough, I did it normally. And then every playthrough after, I ended up learning to skip for it because I was like, I don't want to speedrun this game, but I never want to do that part of 5A ever again.
Yeah, the skip to skip that section is definitely the first big one that everybody like learned when the game was first starting up.
That's true. My very first run of this, which was like an hour and 40 minutes on an airplane or something. That was the only speedrun trick that I had learned beforehand. It's
So
Theo.
we're on to Theo.
The homie.
Oh, okay. Well,
Does he say, like, what is it, girl you can lift? Does he say it on this one, or is that a B-side
I
quote?
think that's a B-side, I think.
I actually don't have any idea. I haven't read a Theo quote in years. They pop
Dang.
up on the screen like every time I run the game, obviously, but I haven't actually read one.
I
so
can
long.
understand that. In Super
More
Meat
important
Boy,
things
which,
like that.
yeah, in Super Meat Boy, which I have like 2,000 hours in, the name pops up right at the top of the level, but I could name maybe like a dozen of those levels.
Oh, quick little launch there.
I think it is customary when you start speedrunning a game, all the speedrun knowledge you gain causes you to eventually lose casual knowledge that you used to have.
Oh yeah. There are very few bits of my casual playthrough that I still remember. Oh, that's not good. This eyeball room is something else, to say the least, but we got through it. Yeah, I forgot a berry earlier today when I was warming up. This definitely will happen. So here we are in chapter 6. Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one.
My favorite
That's the
chapter.
one.
I can't wait to watch the 6A battle and fight.
Yeah, if you're here for the 6th battle and fight, oh boy, do I have some bad news for you.
Oh no.
That's right, we're going into 6B. And I don't know, people think 6B Gravelous is like really hard. But really,
People think 6B in general is hard.
the trick is that 6B Gravelous is actually not that hard if you can see Madeline. But if you're doing it invisible, it's actually quite difficult.
I agree with that. That's true.
Which I'm the only person that has ever done Invis Gravelous before, and I would never recommend it to anybody. But it's definitely a thing that you can do.
You need to add in another variant on that. Do like mirrored invisible graveless.
Oh boy, that
Oh
would hurt.
no,
That would
that's a
hurt. That would
horrible
hurt.
idea. You should do it.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
Oh,
Yeah. Mirror like hurts my brain way more than most of the things in this game do.
because at least like with invisible, if you're stationary, I believe you can see Madeline, and
Yeah, that's true.
and you can also always see the spotlight that is very subtle but existing on Madeline throughout every stage.
Oh no, I'm dead. That's okay. We're gonna go back and we're gonna do Reva's nonsense. I've been punished for trying the sensible strat. Actually, how do I even do this?
Nice, you did it.
Oh,
Uh,
no. Oh no, we're gonna give it one more try. This strat's really cool if I can get it, but
Is this what we like to
obviously
call-
suboptimal.
I know some folks in the community like to call it Revo's nonsense because of Revolution.
Oh god, well, that's not it.
Oh no.
That's okay. We'll get it next time.
Nice.
There we go. We're through. All right, we're at 6B.
So the B-sides unlocking the A-sides, I believe has been there since launch, but I think it took people like at least a couple months to figure it out, which is pretty interesting to me. But
It was already figured out by the time that I started the game, because I got on the train a little bit late.
I want to say it was known by like June or July. The game came out in January 2018, and I want to say that it was like June or July. It might have even been before that. It was just the only chapter where it really thought it could save time was 5A to 5B, and any percent at least. And that took forever for people to really try. I didn't say forever. There was like 2 or 3 people who did it. But
Yeah, I want to say like Revo, like maybe Problem and Marlin were like the only people that were doing it. But maybe I'm wrong. That was before my time. I shouldn't
Revo did
talk
it,
about
and
it.
he was going for
yeah.
Dread Corner, which is just one of
Yeah.
the more
one of the most Revo things that I've ever heard.
Yeah, that sounds like Revo. I love Revo.
I love the guy. He was the one who taught me this chapter. So shoutouts to him. The reason I'm playing this chapter is because of him.
Revo running both Celeste and Freedom Planet is how I ended up meeting my partner, because I briefly dabbled in Carol runs in Freedom Planet, and my partner ran Celeste for a long time, and we both knew Revo. So shoutouts to
awesome.
Revolution.
Big shoutouts to Revo.
A lot of spikes in this chapter.
You know what? People say that. I've heard that said before.
People have said this.
Yeah, people have said this.
Remember when Chapter 6 was supposed to be completely underwater?
Oh, that's right. That was a thing that they wanted
That was
to do.
a thing that they wanted to do, yeah.
So when people hear that, they always just like respond like they're like revolted. But honestly, I'm like so curious what
Name a good water level in a game, Phil. Name
World
a
3
good...
Super Monkey 2.
Okay. Well, that doesn't change the physics, though, does it?
No, but
Okay, so it doesn't count.
Okay, well, you don't count.
That's true.
There's like 2 levels in Captain Toad that are underwater.
Oh, okay, then you're right. Never mind. There is a good game, and it's Captain Toad.
Exactly.
I apologize.
I don't know. I'm always curious because like the devs for this game are obviously pretty good at designing levels, and so I'm curious what they could have done. I
I'd
feel
love
like
to see it.
I'm more open-minded than most on that in particular.
I'm closed-minded about water levels.
That's
It's one
okay.
of my-
So again,
one of my
somebody's
few
got to be wrong.
flaws.
Might as well be you.
Yeah, it's true.
All right. Into the battling fight. This has been going okay so far. Not too bad. This is a really difficult chapter, and although that doesn't change too much, I mean, there are a couple of really difficult rooms. I actually passed on without talking about it. The chapter is still very hard, and it is only made harder without grabs. So
there's a question in the chat about 6A berries. So 6A actually is the only A side that does not have red berries. So that's why you can do 6B
that's
and
correct.
get the
Yeah.
heart.
Yeah, and you need the heart anyway to. So on top of the fact that 6B is faster than 6A, it has a heart, which means that it saves even more time for all red berries because you replace having to get another heart earlier in the game.
Yeah, the alternative if you wanted to do 6A over 6B is probably Chapter 2A's heart, which is
That's
fairly
correct,
slow
yeah.
to get.
Yeah.
I'm going off of some old Celeste knowledge I used to have, so it's like, please correct me if I'm ever wrong.
Optimally, it's probably like close to 40 seconds faster to do 6B and ARB, but that is when you talk about optimal in 6B. Like 6B is a chapter that's very incredibly easy to lose like extraordinary amounts of time on, with like very few mistakes. So it's kind of one of those things where it's just like, well, if you never make any mistakes, you're going to save a lot of time. But even like top runners have a lot of trouble with it.
This game in general, I think most screens are pretty
first
short,
try.
except for this.
Okay, that's awesome. That screen is extremely hard. There's no setup for that in Grabless, basically. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
No problem. But yeah, I feel like most of the screens in here, especially when you're doing speedrun strats, are like a couple seconds. But then chapter 6 and 7, you start to get really long rooms, and so they become very punishing.
Yeah. This room in particular is very infamous, but I'm not going to die in it because I've never jinxed myself ever. Perfect.
Yep. We know. You don't have to tell us twice.
I know that you know, but I don't have to tell you twice.
So if you don't level up at the end of this here, how do you have 2 dashes?
Whoa,
and
that was
seven?
a sub 5 6B.
Wow.
Whoa.
That was really good. Nice.
Not
job.
bad. Not bad at all. Oh, okay, the summit.
I mean, the world may never know the answer to Shredbrick's question.
What was the question again?
So if you don't level up at the end of 6B, how do you have 2 dashes here in 7A?
Purity of will.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's quite obvious when you think about it.
That's, yeah. I feel silly now for asking.
Ah, okay. I've been a frame early on this both times. There we go.
Nice.
Easy demo. That one's the key one. I learned that just for this category.
How many berries are there in Summit? Because
like
I assume
40,
this is the most.
41?
47, I believe.
Okay, because there's
47.
5.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there's 5 and 4. So you started it with like 120. So and there's 170.
Seems good to me.
There's a lot.
I just want to point out that someone in chat says magic is an abomination.
I see it, Reaper. I feel you. Magic is an abomination. Don't let anybody ever tell you otherwise. That magic is an abomination. Oh gosh. Oh, I was alive. That's okay.
What do you think about the song "Help I'm Alive" by Metric?
Do I know that song?
Oh, you should. You should listen to it after the stream. You'd like that
Okay.
song.
There's a song that has the lyrics "Help I'm Alive" by Fantagram? That sounds correct. What is the name of that song? I don't know. I'll find out eventually.
Yeah, there's some people asking if this game is harder or easier with a controller, because someone's like, hey, what system does this come on? It comes on PS4, Xbox, Switch, and PC. Keyboard
Stadia.
oh god, and Stadia. We can't forget Stadia. That's very
definitely
important.
can never, especially with D. Shredberg, former Stadia world record holder in chat. Or, yeah, we call.
Yeah, and then there's so it's entirely subjective what you prefer. Like, I can't play with keyboard. Personally, I prefer to play on like a DualShock 4 or a DualSense myself for Celeste, but I've also played on really terrible controllers. We don't talk about that though. But yeah, no, seriously, it's whatever you're most comfortable with. There have been top players in the game with controller only. And then there are people who play exclusively on keyboard. So take your pick. Whatever you're most comfortable playing platformers on is what you probably want to go with.
I want to add to this that like literally like any control scheme can work. This game has proven that to me more than anything else. I've had friends that have gotten extremely good times on, D-pad, analog stick, keyboard controller, hybrid keyboard control schemes, GameCube controllers. The list goes on.
Didn't didn't he use the GameCube D-pad when playing this?
No. He used the analog stick.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say GameCube
the notched
D-pad.
analog stick.
Yeah, that's the worst D-pad of all time.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought he did, but good, actually. That's reassuring.
Yeah. But speaking of Peter, speaking of Monkey Ball players, Complex Plane, who came to Celeste from Super Monkey Ball as well, played with his left hand on WASD and his right hand on its controller. And he got a really good time, so anything can really work.
That's wild.
Yeah.
It's impressive. I don't know if I had the mental dexterity to think about two different control schemes like that.
Yeah. Shout out to Complex. He also got the first ever 27 in Super Monkey Ball 2, which is like very impressive. The game is hard. And then he became a really good Celeste player too.
Complicated control schemes like dance pad. Someone mentioned in chat.
That's
the
true.
game has been beaten with 3 buttons only.
Oh my god, yeah. So back to
2 buttons
Spiralis.
only.
Spiralis beat it with 2 inputs. The entire game with 2 inputs. It took him many, many, many hours of jank, but he did it. Also, friend Mist Op has beaten the game with the steering wheel. So you can do that too if you really want to.
I've used a really, really janky PS1 dance pad controller that's for your hands, not your feet, and with sticky buttons, no less, to play through a couple of chapters. But TGH has beaten the game with that, and that was an experience.
One that I've always wanted to try was the Mario DDR pad for the GameCube.
Oh yeah, that thing. I've been looking for one of those.
I feel like that'd be a good bit.
I had the idea once that since the game is beatable with 3 inputs, that you could play it with DK bongos with clap as your third input.
Oh god.
That sounds really terrible, so I'm probably not going to do that.
That sounds so awful.
Sounds awful.
But because it sounds that terrible, someone's going to do it now that the idea is out there.
Speaking of terrible things that haven't been done yet, I did do grabless any percent invisible. However, I have not done grabless arb invisible, and I've been thinking about it. It sounds like the worst time ever, but like I have to do it at some point because otherwise nobody else will, and that we wouldn't want that.
The summit's gone pretty smoothly so far, I'd say.
Yeah, not so bad. Back to talking about like just the meta of grabless. If people do manage to get through a ridge, they kind of find smooth sailing for Chapter 5 and Chapter 6. But there's a particular screen in Summit, the last screen of 2,500 meters, that very few people end up getting through. There are, less than 10 people that have completed a run of any grabless category, and that room is a very large reason because of it.
I'm excited.
Oh, we're coming.
I'm gonna get it first try.
We're coming up to, this is 2,000 meters, right? I'm not
That's
like
correct.
miscounting. Okay, cool. I can count. Let's go.
All right, we're gonna give Crichter Skip one try.
Crichter skip. It's crazy how Crichter has
Let's
Crichter
go!
skipping Captain Toad and this. Oh, heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
That was the Crichter.
Shout outs to Crichter. Crichter didn't find that skip. I did, but we call it Crichter Skip. Because we can't call it something else. That would be illegal.
Do enjoy naming strats in various games after other speedrunners that have little to do with it.
Yeah. I think there was Shredberg was lobbying for the new farewell glitch to be called Fell Skip, even though I've never clearly touched farewell at all. I thought that was really funny.
I called it that recently and somebody was very confused and I was like,
That
oh,
was so
okay,
awesome.
I can't make this joke without anybody knowing it, but I still call it that, yeah.
Absolutely incredible. It's like, yeah, shout outs to so-and-so who found the skip because it's named after them. It's like, no,
Yeah, not
about
that one.
that.
Not exactly.
There's a skip in Super Meat Boy that I called Fim Skip, and it's not even, he did not find that skip, but he deserves the name.
He definitely does.
Shout out to Fims. What a good guy.
All right, so we're in the faded 2,500 now.
Indeed.
But
There's
we got
a
a little ways to
couple
go.
couple of hard screens in this chapter before that screen, but it's coming. It's looming. It's there. It always will be. But again, I'm gonna get it first try, so we're fine.
So there was basically a question in chat about why the game doesn't kill you when you're going through the needles and all that stuff, and it's because we described it before, demo dash, and the thing is the hitboxes on those don't connect together, so you can dash through those with a crouch state. Nice
There
job
is
on getting that
specifically
first try.
I'm not gonna get this one first try though. I gotta go back. There's specifically a 4 pixel gap in the hitbox of the spinners, which is the exact same size as Madeline's crouching hitbox, or hurtbox, I guess.
Okay,
so,
this might be a silly question. Why are they called spinners if they don't spin?
There's a lot of things in Celeste that are called things they shouldn't be. That needs an answer.
They're different functionally from spikes. These are spikes. You see.
Correct. They are different. Does the difference matter in an RTA setting? No. Does it matter to Tassers? Probably.
Yeah,
Correct.
spinners actually have a round hitbox, whereas like spikes are very, very different. Like they don't have a round hitbox at all.
This is the
Plus,
room,
like-
by the way. That
Yeah. Let's check this out.
Am I on the right pixel?
Ooh.
The answer was yes. I couldn't see because of there's some dust in the way, which has never actually happened to me before, but I just kind of went for it and it worked. Yeah, so that trick is pixel perfect on both the X and the Y axis. And it's very hard. Pause buffering makes it consistent and allows me to get it first try. But however, I have played the room enough where I could get it pretty quickly without pausing. But I am also the person who has spent by far the most amount of time in that room than any other human being on this planet, which is an accolade I wear with pride.
I can say that about my own room in my house.
Yeah, I'm sure you could.
What if someone lived there before you?
You know, that's
That's true.
something that I didn't consider
That's
until
true.
after I said it, and I realized that as I said it, and I was like, I hope nobody calls me out on this. And
I also
you did,
saw a
so-
very good point
why
in
I'm here.
chat. I saw a very good point in chat about how the fact that like the category is called all red berries when strawberries are not actually berries, which is like very true because strawberries are aggregate fruit, which are not berries. So the category should really be called ARAF.
If I recall, aren't they like part of the rose family of like, not produce, but like vegetation or something?
I don't know, but I
know where-
love that. I just retried. I don't know why I retried, but I did. I just wanted to do this flag again. Shout out to Flag 20.
It's a good strat. It's fun. I actually cannot believe that strawberries aren't berries.
Dude, you know what's even more wild than that? Bananas are berries.
Yeah, they are.
So that one I knew, and I can wrap my head around that, but it's not like a banana berry. You know what I mean? Like if it was called a banana berry, I'd be like, pretty sure it's a berry. But
Wait, so strawberry banana smoothies now contain the same amount of berries I thought they did 10 minutes ago.
That's correct, yes.
Amazing.
Oh god, the statistic I always like to use is that Super Monkey Ball actually has more berry-related categories than Celeste does.
Wait, I'm also now learning for the first time apples are apparently in the rose family as well, just like strawberries are.
So on
I'm
the same tangent,
actually mad.
I learned a lot about beans and nuts last night.
Oh no.
Peanuts are
So-
legumes, right?
Peanuts are technically beans.
What?
Yes.
that's
Just
nuts.
let
Oh my gosh.
What is
somebody had
my
to say
life
it.
right now?
Another very hard flag, but it's gone. I learned another crazy one. What was it? Oh, I'll remember eventually.
I know someone said that they kind of want their they're trying to collect all the berries in the game, and first of all, congrats and good luck, but also they want their birthday cake to be a strawberry pie. I've actually made the strawberry pie recipe that came with the collector's edition of this game. It is quite good.
That's a thing? That's so cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I can send you a picture of the recipe, Fel. It's in the like boxed version of it.
I would,
Yeah.
I would love to see that. I've never really like gotten like collector's editions of things before, like literally yesterday. When I got collectors for like a box set for all the cartoon Saloon movies, which I know Shredberg has seen,
Those are great movies.
but it's just really cool. Also, I'm doing something really stupid on this flag, and so I might check me a couple tries.
Yeah. Do you think moonberries are real berries, or are they also aggregate fruits?
Those are cheese
Moonberries or
berries.
cheese? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, makes sense.
aggregate
Watch.
cheese.
What's the Wallace and
Oh, boy.
Gromit movie where they go to the moon
That's
and confirm
such a good
that?
movie.
Oh my god, I remember that one. For some reason, I have a very vivid
I'll watch
memory
that.
of renting that from my local library. That's how I actually saw most of my Wallace and Gromit shorts.
So close. Okay, I'll get it this time. I'll get it next time. I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm committed.
Yeah, we're committed.
Oh, there we go.
No. Oh,
First try.
First try indeed. Gotta go through both the spikes. Oh,
No, all roses is my favorite Celeste category.
all roses. All flowers. All right, well, we're coming down to the end of Summit. The run is not quite over yet because we still got core to go through, but
Oh,
wow, that seems tough.
oh, I just got on the wall. That's all right. This flag is easier than it looks, but it's still pretty tight.
I feel, well, I guess it's not the end of the run because there's still core, but I feel like it's such a long
Come on.
chapter, and then you have to do this. That seems tough.
There is a strat that skips doing that, but I think it's harder, so. And it's not too much faster. Oh no. Oh, I'm fine.
Good save.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really
Dying
weird
on-
to once you lose your rhythm on flag 1 to get it back, but we got through it. There we
dying
go.
on flag 1 is a rite of passage.
Oh yeah.
Wait.
If you haven't died on flag 1 on PV pace, you haven't ran Celeste.
I'm seeing in chat that apparently moonberries might be like an actual berry in real life.
No freaking way. What? I have no
According
idea.
to chat, moonberries are small berries. They are bluish purple. They're small and resemble wild grapes. They're highly poisonous and are often mixed with food or crushed and smeared on a weapon or object.
Wow, they actually are. I'm looking at the picture right
awesome.
now. Wow.
Can you get
Just like
moonberries?
cheese.
Yeah, just like cheese, basically.
They,
Yeah. Pretty similar to milk as well, actually, if you want to get into the nitty gritty of it. Oh, well, I will retry
There you go.
in this cutscene. Yeah, there you go.
Because someday the cutscene will be skipped, not retried.
So in this
That is
chapter,
also,
although you have 2 dashes, you lose them until you get a dash crystal. So you have to actually I don't know, strat
This
it out.
chapter is more puzzle-like because you have to route out your dashes to
Yeah,
use them
gotta ration
as
'em.
resources. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna do a skip called Ice Skip, which is possible grabless. Thankfully, but it's a lot hard. Oh, that's not the button I meant to press. A lot of accidental retries. I was like never happened to me before, but if there's a time for it to happen, now is probably the best time.
Ooh, that never doesn't make me happy to look at.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And what I do basically is because in the grab full version of this trick, there's a lot of leniency with the speed that you can get. But in the grabless version, we cannot run a boost out of a jump, which means that we need like maximum speed out of the initial ultras that we get. And so what I do is I pause to make sure that I'm on the ground before bunny hopping, which guarantees that I get the speed boost from the ultra. There's a lot of Celeste tech that I just kind of brushed aside in what I just said, but trust me, it works.
Basically,
makes
it's
it
much
consistent.
more precise.
Yeah,
And the pause buffer helps.
indeed.
But so this is berry 172.
This is definitely berry 172. This is the trolliest berry of them all, but it looks like it's only gonna take me a couple tries.
Ooh,
That means there's only 3 berries left.
That's true. Means we're almost done.
Feels like it just began.
Yeah, you said it. Yeah, it's just flown by, but here we are, almost at the end. There's still some very difficult rooms to go, and there is one mistake that I can make that could lose me multiple minutes, so we'll hope that we don't lose that.
I believe 1 berry to go. Let's go.
This room is really hard, but I'm gonna get it now. Yeah, as I say.
nice.
So those conveyors, like, you just absolutely cannot use those, or
That's
do those
correct.
help you at all? Jeez.
Yeah, these are, if you grab onto them, they'll pull you up the wall at a pretty fast speed, but in Grabless, we cannot utilize those at all, which is originally what made Farewell impossible. Ooh, okay. Everything is fine.
Is there really no conveyors, like, once you get to the rhythm block section thing? In Farewell?
Yeah, I don't think there is.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, Stubbornness doesn't have any.
I don't know, Shedberg. I think you're the one with the farewell speedrun leaderboards.
Am I the only
That's
one?
actually true. Yeah, I don't have one.
That's true. I do.
Okay, please don't hit this block. And not this one either. Okay, we're good. Good so far. If I hit one of those switches, I have to do something very risky that could lose me multiple minutes. But thankfully, I have collected the final berry without a tragedy occurring.
Yes.
That was so good.
No berry tragic today.
Indeed. Well, yes. I'm gonna wait.
I mean, aggregate fruit tragedy.
Yes, exactly.
That's a good band name.
It really does.
Aggregate fruit tragedy. Let's go.
It's incredible. That was a lot closer than I thought. Yeah, so like normally you just ride the conveyors up, but like I just gotta neutral the wall slowly. Because I don't got another other option. This is the only screen in the game I have to do this, but I actually have to retransition to enter the screen with like hypermomentum in order to make that one possible.
Right,
It is really cool. It is really cool that like your momentum maintains through transitions as well in this game. It can make so many really cool things possible.
It's a lot of reason why I like speedrunning this game. It just makes a series of movements like so satisfying.
Do the ice ball spikes / flame balls have a name?
Fireballs and ice balls.
That seems apt.
Yeah. I actually thought that the ice ones were like frozen shells when I played the game casually. So I've always called them shells. Which is not what they are, apparently. But... Whoop. And time is now. I've done it. 1:02, which is really good time, actually.
That was really good, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That would have been a PB like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Only very recently got sub-hour.
I think there's only like 1 or 2 things that really tricked you or got you, and one of them was the double demo thing.
Yes, that's true. That got me for a while, actually. So yeah, we're gonna go into the pie screen as is customary. Make sure we got all the berries in 102 top with 117 deaths, which is pretty dang good.
Yeah, that was in real time. That was a 107.45. So huge GGs for that run. That run was really good. And everyone, make sure you follow Fel, Shredberg, and Eric as well. Eric, I really hope I've been posting your Twitch correctly. Is it EricJ_math?
That is correct, yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome. But seriously, thank you, all 3 of you. Do you have any shout outs before we move on? Get Splatoon running?
Yeah, I mean, definitely come follow me if you want to see content similar to this. And just a huge thanks to my co-commentators and friends that have inspired me in this game, and especially to people who have like helped pioneer this category, like Frictor and Uni and Spirialis. Been a big inspiration for me. And yeah, thank you so much for having us. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me on commentary, Fel. And all of chat, go follow Fel. Fel is like 15 followers or less away from 1,000, so you absolutely want to be that 1,000th follower. So you should do that
true.
Right
that
now.
True.
At this very moment. You have nothing else better to do but to follow Fel.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. And also, I just want to say shout outs to Toad.
Yeah.
Shout out to
also
Toad.
Shout outs to Toad, and also shout outs to Theta. Love you, Theta.
Yeah, that was an incredible run, and thank you again, all 3 of you, for being on the show. It's been a really enjoyable ride so far, but we're not done yet. Coming up next, we have King J 0444. Hopefully I said O and not 0. That is running Splatoon 1 All Scrolls. So if you like more completionist categories, this is a good one for you. We'll be right back, but just a reminder that that your subs, gift subs, Prime Gaming subs, and bits help support weekly hotfix shows like this. So please consider supporting our daily content if you enjoy our shows, and we'll see you in just a bit. This is your time to take a wellness break, get up, stretch, walk around, get a drink, and we'll be right back with more runs after this. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 26 of Never Before Seen. My name is AmberCyprian. I am your host tonight as we bring you speedruns of categories that have never before been seen in a mainline GDQ event. And as always, if you happen to speedrun a game or category that has never been run in an AGDQ, SGDQ, or GDQx event, and you'd like to submit it to the show, type !NBS into chat to find the link to be able to send me your runs, and I would love to have you. And that's actually exactly what King J did, who is our next run here with Splatoon 1 All Scrolls. So if you like completionist categories, this is a very, very fun one. Lots of good movement, and I'm really excited about this. And also, it has a really awesome boss fight at the end. So, not to spoil anything, but I'll go ahead and let King J and his awesome commentators, Hydrus and Tones Ballones, introduce themselves. Take it away, you two, or you three. I can count.
Hello everybody, how's it going? I'm King J0444, and this is Splatoon, released all the way back in 2015. Seems not that long ago, but it was. For the Wii U, that is now the cemetery. We're doing All Scrolls today, which is pretty much the 100% category, getting all the main collectibles in each level, which are the Sunken Scrolls, and this is the last category, the last main category that has yet to be showcased at a GDQ event. We had 80% New Game Plus recently, and now we're here with All Scrolls. So if my commentators would like to introduce themselves.
I guess I can introduce myself first. Hello, everyone. My name is Hydrus, also known as on Twitch as Captain Hydrus. I'm a 3-year veteran. I'm one of only 3 people who have held all 6 world records in this game. I'm the current world record holder for All Scrolls. I think this is one of the most interesting categories for a showcase, so I'm very excited to see what King J can bring to this audience of 2,500 people. I think it's going to be really awesome. And I have my co-commentator.
Yeah, I'm Tones Ballones. You may know me from other GDQ runs. I have done I've done 3 in-person GDQ runs from way back in the day, and 17 years ago it feels like. But I haven't run the game in a while, but I still love the community and spent a lot of time running this game and this category. So I'm excited to be here and support GDQ once again.
Yeah, Tones has been the sort of when each game came out, Tones was like the GDQ face of Splatoon. Ran each game, yeah, exactly. So I need something very special from chat. We can play as a girl Inkling or a boy Inkling. This changes absolutely nothing, but you guys can choose what we're playing as. Are we going to play as a girl Inkling or a boy Inkling? Oh,
it's International Women's Day.
That is true.
1 month.
Yeah, that's true. That's probably a good reason. Something small I like to add, new generations and old generations alike. I think this will kind of be an interesting mix of like older strats and newer strats. Because when did you start running this, Joey?
I've been running since 2017 or 18, I think.
Yeah, I've been running since 2019, and Tone's been running since which date, Tones?
August 1st or something.
Really? Okay. Yeah. For me, it's January 2019. So yeah, we're all kind of in different generations of this game, but I think this is still one of my favorite speed games. And I'm glad it's still getting attention from the wider speedrunning community as well as GDQ. Thank you for letting us choose have this category on.
Yeah, so I think it's pretty obvious we're going girls.
Oh yeah.
There's no doubt about it. I didn't see one boy in chat. All right, let's see how it is. I mean, to be fair, you guys picked right. Like, this is the best. Girl is best Inkling for sure. So,
correct.
All right, so
girl Inkling is super cute.
Right.
I guess we're good to go. So, on go. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so starting off, I have to do something I'm not used to. I have to use motion controls.
Yeah, motion controls are actually forced in this tutorial sequence because the game was actually designed around motion controls. The Wii U was one of the first major consoles to have significantly sophisticated motion technology. So Joey will be playing the motion controls throughout this tutorial sequence, which is around 55 seconds roughly, and then he'll be switching back to it off. You can actually do it on the gamepad. It's pretty cool. You can do a lot of neat things with the gamepad that we'll be explaining a lot later. Also, you'll be seeing this stage a little bit later on. I won't spoil which one, but they reuse stages in an interesting way. That's an interesting strategy. You can actually throw bombs at crates to explode all of them in one go. That was a strat from Splatoon 2 that actually got incorporated into this game. That's a kind of a higher level optimization.
Yeah, so we should quickly explain what Splatoon is. So this is a third-person shooter from Nintendo, and I think it's like more so of a mix. It's not really specifically in the story. It feels more like a platformer than a shooter.
It's kind of incorporates third-person shooter and platformer elements. Also, what I think is interesting about Splatoon is that your ammo is also the way that you move. So if you don't have ink in the ground, you're going to be walking, and that's extremely slow. But if you do have ink in the ground, you can swim, and that's pretty much optimal when you can. Swimming is much faster than walking, obviously, and I think that's pretty interesting for any shooter in general, especially a platforming elements.
It also makes it very makes it very interesting too, because you can only shoot in kid form and you can only swim in squid form. So you need to have a good balance of that, and depending on how long you're staying out of squid form could make all the difference of saving time. So
yeah, if you think about other third-person or first-person shooter platformer games like Ratchet and Clank or Halo series or any of those, they always try and mix gunplay with movement. Either movement is a strict ability, or the guns are the ones that are moving for you with a dash or something. But this game does it completely differently in that everyone has just one ability, but that one ability can open up a ton of different methods of movement just based on how you shoot and which weapon you're using.
Yeah, it also adds a lot of depth to it, to a competitive game. This game is a very flourishing competitive scene, and a lot of people don't actually know that this game even has a single player because it's marketed as a online game. The last thing I want to say too is that sticks is actually not the popular choice for the control method. KJ is actually one of the few Splatoon runners in general to use sticks at all. And for this game, it's quite the handicap because you do not have a separate sensitivity setting for the stick, which you still use the stick somewhat when you use motion, but I thought I would just throw that out there. Wow, yeah. English is so slow there.
Yeah, I know. So I use English. It's actually Japanese is the fastest language, but yes, I don't have that.
For this category, it approximately saves around 55 seconds, and for the first segment of the game, it saves around 18 seconds. It's pretty insane.
It was a very big difference. I remember being a little salty at the Japanese runners because it was back in the day. It was very competitive. There was really one Japanese runner who actually introduced a strategy that we use. His name was Beat, and he was very competitive with me and Try Courage and Vesper and anyone else who was going for the world record at the time. And it seemed like he was just going way faster. We're like, why? Why is he going so much faster than us?
Yeah.
And it turns out that it saves almost a minute of just being able to skip through text boxes faster.
So coming up here, perfect time to end there, we have our first scroll, and these are basically collectible items that when you exit the level, you get a little piece of lore about the environment or the story of the game. They're all fairly interesting. I actually don't know what any of them mean because I play in Japanese, so I cannot read any of them, but
that's why we don't read them.
Yeah, Joey is playing in English. I assume just for the marathon, but people don't usually play in English, but that's kind of the purpose of the scroll. This category is, again, kind of just the 100% category in this game. There's no in-game 100% counters, so we just call it, all scrolls. And something that Joey did there that I would also like to mention is that he got that extra set of boxes to get power eggs. This is for a routing thing, which is going to happen after level 2. Tones, I don't know if you want to go into that.
Yeah, I'll mention it. So basically these things we're collecting are called fish eggs, and we're going to be unlocking 2 things throughout this run, and we need 100 eggs for each of them. So at the end of this level here, we need 100 eggs to unlock Seekers, which is going to be our first big unlock.
Getting Seekers is incredibly important before the third level, because the third level has a lot of straightaways, and that's where the Seeker is going to save a lot of time, because just throwing it once and following it is a lot faster than having to stop and shoot a bunch of times.
Yeah, and we'll be using those a lot throughout the course of the run. Like, it's definitely the most useful bomb type for sure.
Yeah, that and burst bombs. Burst bombs are such a lovely sub. I'm kind of
I really miss having burst bombs in single player. I was very mad when Splatoon 2 got rid of them.
Yeah, they're only.
And we actually slept on burst bombs for a very long time. It used to be considered not worth it because, you know, you would have to go into the menu again and spend about 6 seconds or so to unlock them. And we were like, when is that ever going to be useful when you can just shoot stuff? But then we figured out that it
we'll get to rapid fire glitch.
Yeah, and then you get to the rapid fire glitch, and that opens everything up.
Well, that sucks. There goes that cycle. So this is the first instance of global cycles, which Splatoon is known for.
Not every level has them, but this one does.
Splatoon has an amalgamation of a bunch of speedrun tropes. You got RNG, you got moving cycles and stuff like that, cycle-based levels. You have
canonless.
Very much even more. Oh yeah, here's canonless, all you 64 veterans. But don't worry, you may wonder if canonless was so good, why didn't they make a canonless 2? And Splatoon answers that question later on.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a canonless trick in Splatoon 2, but what Joey kind of did there is he skipped using the cannon, which you normally have to take a separate jump pad, go to another little mini area, paint the wall approximately 4 times and climb up it. Canonless is approximately a 4-second time save. Unfortunately, in this category, it's only about a 5-second time save due to the detour that you need to get for the scroll. But yeah, the scrolls haven't detached too much from gameplay, which is why we haven't gone into them too much. But later down the line, the scroll movement will actually become a lot more complicated. And now we're going to be getting into Seekers. One application that Joey just did there was to unlock tea kettles, which is the form of the level before you unlock it. If you fire a Seeker and then fire 2 shots at it, it does a lot of damage and then unlocks them quite a bit faster than just shooting them normally and throwing a splat bomb in. Also, like you can see there, they're very nice for running along like long straightaways, and they're also really useful for going through enemy ink because Camp, you didn't really explain. When you go through enemy ink, if you stay in it for long enough, you will not die, but you will take a lot of damage. And this game has a very unforgiving mechanic where if you take too much damage, you will just instantly die. They actually fixed this in Splatoon 2. You can be a little bit more safe in that game, but yeah, if you take too much damage, you do not have a precursor armor, you will die.
Yeah, so yeah, that's like a skill zone. Like if you jump a little bit off, like
the shot RNG is off.
Yeah. So we should probably get into that now because I'm probably going to be complaining about it later. Shot RNG is a big thing in this game. Basically, whenever you shoot, you can see that I have a reticle on screen, and it has like a wide spread. So whenever I shoot a shot, it can go either like directly to where my pointer is pointing, or it can go around that general area. And that's what we call shot RNG. So it gets really bad later, but for now it's nothing too bad.
Yeah, the most important bit of shot RNG is whether or not the ink gets at your feet. Because like when you're shooting directly forward, I would say there's like maybe a 50% chance that one of the shots that you take will land at your feet. So if you're really banking on making a jump and the shots just don't end up at your feet, you're not going to get the speed required for the jump, and that's really annoying.
Yeah, also, your speed will essentially be killed midair.
Yeah. Also, by the way, Splatoon is known for having really awesome boss fights. And not only that, they also have great legs.
That man does not skip leg day.
No, this is his leg day right now.
Leg day. Yeah.
All right. So we should probably talk about rapid fire glitch now.
Yes. So because Joey bought Seekers, he's able to do this glitch called RFG or rapid fire glitch. And what it is, I would like Tones to explain the mechanics of it, but it's pretty much when you mash the D-pad, when you have more than 2 sub-weapons and you're shooting your gun at the same time, you can get this really cool effect Tones can get to that.
So every time you switch sub-weapons, if you are holding the fire button with your gun, you will shoot a bullet. And this will override the natural fire rate of the weapon that you're using. So if you have the Seekers or the Seekers and Burst Bomb unlocked, then you can see as he's shooting that tentacle, he is spamming the D-pad in order to switch as fast as he can. And that is going to fire a bullet every single time, which saves about half of the time every time you're dealing damage to the tentacle. So that is going to be important in every single boss fight and some other parts of the game when you have to fight enemies.
Yeah, and it's going to be much easier when we unlock burst bombs. We're going to be able to just... This one was a little bit hard because I had to spam left and right on the D-pad, like alternatively. When we unlock burst bombs, that's going to be on the top D-pad, so I can just rotate my thumb in like a circular motion, which is going to be way easier.
Yeah, the cool thing about RFG is that it saves around 3 seconds in that boss fight, but the unfortunate part is that you'll only be seeing us use it on standstill objects. The reason for that is where the D-pad is actually located on the Wii U gamepad, and I don't think it's something Joey has mentioned, that he's playing on the bulky, Wii U gamepad. I don't know if you can quickly show it during a moment
I'm
of
playing on the brick. There it is.
The brick.
Yeah, the brick, my man. But yeah, so yeah, you are only allowed to use the Wii U gamepad for pretty much anything in this game. I think you are allowed to use the Pro Controller in like the LAN mode, but you can only use stick controls, and yeah, we're not about that, but Joey's about that.
I'm about
You can actually use the Wii U Pro Controller with a Wii Motion Plus Wiimote strapped to it if you use a special code that can only be found in the game manual.
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
I remember when someone...
The actual instructions say use a shoelace to tie the remote to the back of the controller.
That's awesome.
I remember I saw a picture of that. I'm like, that can't be real. No, it's real. That's 100% a thing.
For all the 3 people who ever did the local multiplayer.
Shout out to Crappy Cakes, by the way.
Oh crap.
Big fan.
Dialogue.
Yeah, you don't get to see that dialogue. See, Splatoon has some of the best dialogue in a Nintendo game, in my opinion. It has some really clever writing with a lot of puns.
Yeah, it's kind of Paper Mario-esque, or Mario Luigi. It's a very, they put a lot of effort into it. But yeah, due to the D-pad being below the joystick, you can only be mashing with the D-pad when you are staying still, because you can't, be moving and RFG unless you have 4 arms. Runners don't normally do that while they're moving. But yeah, Seekers are even more beneficial for the stage in comparison to 3. There is so much enemy ink, and I can't even imagine this.
Coming up here, pretty scary jump here. It saves 1 second, but it's worth it all the time.
Oh my god.
That RNG was bad, but I got it.
Okay.
I can't believe you went for that. You said, like, I don't go for that because I like to be consistent. I was
tempted to not go for it, but it looks so cool. I got hit by enemy RNG there, but
the thing you did wrong was you weren't fast enough and you got seen.
Yeah.
Or actually, no. I think what happened was you hit the balloon too late, like early.
I mean, that's what I usually do.
You're supposed to hit it like as you're jumping.
I usually just hope that the RNG doesn't hit me. So.
No, that's the worst way to do it. You can do it completely consistently so long as the enemies don't see you in time.
So this is kind of funny because we have like 3 generations of runners here. Like Tones is the old school runner of this game.
I invented this game.
Yeah, I'm like the mid school runner where like I'm like middle school where like I came into this game, like I said, maybe like a year or 2 after it was like really hyped up for any % and stuff like that.
You were in middle school when this game came out?
No, not what I meant. And then Hydrus is very new. So
yeah, I'm kind of the TikTok generation. He's
the Zoomer.
You're the boomer. Something I did not mention, or something that was not mentioned, is that Joey actually unlocked a level in World 1. He followed actually the linear order, ironically, but he did unlock level 5, which you're going to super jump to later. Burst bombs are actually faster. It's about 5 seconds faster to use burst bombs in that stage. And
it's
that
worth
level,
it.
That level is. I've done that level in Bombless, which is a extensions category, and my god, it is not.
Yeah, it's not fun.
It's not fun.
No.
Yeah, so we save that for later. And when you unlock a level, you can actually super jump to it by tapping it on the gamepad. And we're going to be using that a lot later to get to levels without even visiting them.
Yeah, you'll see this kind of non-linear routing applied to pretty much every world except for 1. 5 is especially really cool. 5 has seen lots of different routes over the years with, you know, not super jumping and lots of different unlocked strats. So unfortunately, we'll be not seeing the glitch in here where you do a ROM warp, kinda. It is not possible from the left side, which is where you get the scroll on the stage. I tried to do it from the left. It is barely not possible due to how the Octoling is positioned. So King J will actually be doing the intended route, which, fun fact, if you do not do the Octoling glitch, like you do an 90%, going on the left side is actually the fastest way.
Yeah.
Which is pretty interesting.
Side note, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about. I just want to point this out because I love it so much. The animation that the Zapfish does while you're holding him out is like the cutest thing.
And then, it really is.
If you're playing New Game Plus, by the way, shoutouts to, I'm actually repping the merch right now. Shoutouts to when we did, this is the exact same like trio that we had for my SGDQ 2020 New Game Plus run for this game. So,
yes.
But during that, we mentioned how we find it so funny how, you know, you pat the Zapfish every time that you grab it because it's a toy Zapfish.
Yeah, and then it's actually interesting too if you complete the game. Oh, by the way, for this level, this is actually a tutorial, but it looks different. So
a little bit different.
Yeah, a little bit different. This is one of the easiest scrolls to miss in the game. I've reset like Palace.
Oh yeah,
that scroll.
Definitely, yeah.
God, that is that's awful.
But yeah, the cool thing about getting this run into SGDQ in 2020, so Splatoon has had like the curse of only getting shown once for each of its games up until I got in for New Game Plus. So that was kind of like the whoa, we can get Splatoon in again. We can get the other games in again. It's possible. It's
when Splatoon 3 comes out, that's gonna be sick.
It'll be sick.
I'm glad that we're doing this because this is again the last category we have to show at GDQ, and it's right before Splatoon 3 comes out.
I don't think Splatoon 2 all scrolls has been shown.
All collectibles, that hasn't been shown.
Yeah, I don't think it's been shown, but that that category.
The last one for Splatoon 1,
I believe. So what wow, I forgot what I was gonna say. I hate that.
I'm sorry, I completely took over that conversation.
No, it's fine. No, oh yeah, I remember what I was gonna say. So, with this, that was extremely close. I thought you were gonna buy the burst bombs. I was cutting it. So burst bombs don't save as much time in this stage in comparison to 5, but they're really nice. And the reason for that is the first application that you will see with burst bombs, and that is with fans. So normally when you shoot a fan, it takes a while for it to get to max speed, right? But because the burst bomb spreads ink the fastest compared to anything else in the game, you can reach max speed, you can accelerate the fastest. So that's pretty cool. You'll be seeing me use that in a lot of stages.
Also, this is a cool scroll right here. I like this. It's very Nintendo-like. So
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, also very easy to miss. Not as easy to miss the 1 to 9, but yeah. But no, burst bombs are so cool. They have so many neat little applications for not just overall movement, but in-level strats as well. And they also have a very low ink efficiency. So if Joey misses a bomb here to de-aggro the enemy, he can throw another one and he won't be out of ink.
Ooh, that was good. Okay, so these fans, the magic number is 3. You want to hit them 3 specific times so they don't go too low or too, like, not low enough. So that was a really good fan. That was another really good one. Nice.
Yeah, Joey was spot on. Yeah, that was actually amazing. Well done to Joey.
That might have actually been a gold. Not timing right now, but that might have been a gold split right there. That was really smooth. We also skip hitting one of those fans by just jumping to the wall there. So
yeah, it's a pretty neat little skip. You can just jump. The distance is not as far as you would think.
Speaking of jump, here we go. Whoop.
Yeah, 5 super jumps to the level they unlocked at the beginning, and this is where the big boy time save kind of comes in.
I feel like this is also the first hard level in the run.
Yes, I would say this is one of the hardest levels in the early game, i.e. levels worlds 1 to 2. A lot of bad things can happen here.
A lot of bad things.
And I'd say it's actually one of my least favorite levels in 90%. I hate this level.
Oh, great, I'm out of ink. Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
messing
you
up
have to
the
be
ink
careful with the
gadget.
burst bombs.
Yeah, I kind of spammed them there because I missed one of them. So, so also this level is what I was talking about earlier with Canonless 2. So SM64, people say it's like the best speedrun ever made, but it doesn't have Canonless 2 in it. So I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, second Canonless. With burst bombs, they kind of the same philosophy with fans. You can use it with sponges to instantly inflate them instead of having to shoot them. And kind of the opposite token here, you have to aggro a robot or a rocket there to actually blow, or Octopod, yes, thank you, Tones. Tones knows his lore.
Tones knows his lore more than us. Yeah.
I don't know anything, so I'm kind of a fraud, but yeah, that's the only way you can access that. Scroll.
World record holder, everybody.
World record holder. Former. Yeah. So this Canonless only saves about 5 seconds in comparison to the 10 seconds that you would see for Canonless in level 2. And this actually kind of looks hard, but it's not that bad. You just have to be kind of careful with how you shoot the sponges when you're above them. But
And
also
no dead bombs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we should.
This game
Burst
has so
bombs.
much.
Yeah, I mean, very quickly, if you hit the bomb in the wrong spot on the sponge, it doesn't inflate, so it'll just fizzle out and you die.
There's also a case where if it's like a moving platform and you throw a burst bomb at it, sometimes it can just go right through the wall. It's
only one. It's only one moving platform, and it's in
It's
13.
in 13. Yeah.
Yeah. Shifting platforms, I believe. I
Yeah, shifting
That's what it's called. Yeah, that's my favorite
I've
level.
had that happen so many times, and it's so funny when it does. I think I'm the only person to have that happen in a marathon run too at Glitch Infinite for this category.
Yeah, in Bluefish's original world record for this game, which stood for 3.5 years in any percent, that's the biggest place where he lost time, is he lost about 8 seconds and 13 from that burst bomb glitch, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Yeah. Also more low-leaf feet on these boss fights.
Yeah, what does he have? Jordans? Like, what's he packing right now? Like, sheesh.
Those are Chuck Taylors.
Chuck Taylors? Wow, you know the brand? Like,
You know the whole lore.
You know what Converse are?
I do not. I'm not a
Converse!
sneakerhead. No, I don't.
Skater shoe from the 70s. People still wear all the time. It's one of the most iconic shoes of all time.
I unfortunately am not familiar with Converse. You can take me off the tops. Yeah, and burst bomb, not burst bombs, but RFG is also really nice here because you can it's actually optimal to RFG the last button in the set because again you cannot RFG while you're moving due to the controller layout, and he'll be kind of using that on the last button set, and also the tentacle, which top runners what they tend to aim for is they tend to throw a swap bomb and shoot from the bottom, but Joey tends to go for the more consistent and easier way of climbing up the wall, which actually is the intended strat.
Oh yeah. I remember when we found out that if you throw a bomb, the tentacle would get big enough to just barely shoot from the bottom. So that's what we started doing.
Yeah.
It saves like 2 seconds per cycle, so it's very significant in any percent. But this category can definitely afford to play it safe. You are very likely to run out of ink if you shoot from the bottom.
Also, by the way,
That's why people don't do it.
something I love/hate is that bosses do have scrolls in them. We do need them, and it's very easy to miss them sometimes and just swim around them. So
Yeah, so every time, if you've been paying attention, every time Joey leaves a level, you'll see a 2.3 second long text box that Joey has to mash B out of, which is the exit button, and that adds a little bit of downtime to every level throughout the run. And this is actually something you want to avoid in any percent. It's actually pretty easy to avoid every scroll in any percent, except for the bosses. They're right in front of the Zapfish. You actually want to swerve around to the left or right of them. And if you're coming from an any percent, if you're an Andy, it might be difficult to stay true to that in this category. I know I've done that before. I don't know if Joey's done it, but
sorry, what was that? Done what?
Accidentally skip the scroll when you're doing all scrolls.
Specifically World 4's boss, I will be going very safe and making sure I grab it.
Oh yeah, because World 4 boss blinds your screen.
Yeah, that, and it's also like the least amount of distance from a boss to the Zapfish.
you
Yeah, thank
spawn
you.
the
I tried
closest.
very hard.
You spawn the closest to that Zapfish in comparison to the other 3 bosses, so trying to do that at full speed is extremely risky.
Also, I should mention, by the way, the bosses have leg day, but I'm having arm day. Like, every time you do rapid fire glitch, the way I do it, I have to, like... My left arm gets a workout on Splatoon run days sometimes.
Oh yeah, why go to the gym? Just run Splatoon 90%, right? Get those
I mean,
games.
I'm also a Mario Odyssey runner, so that's...
Yeah, no, it's definitely not the same.
It's way worse in Odyssey, like, Old Moon specifically.
Yeah, so All Scrolls is not exactly like no major glitches, because we still use some glitches and skips, but a lot of skips you can't do in this category simply because you cannot, the scrolls make you take very different routes. And because the scroll is actually located after the sequence break in this level, Fuyo Skip, which is a skip that lets you skip the entire level, was found like last May.
Which is insane. It is an insane skip.
It's really crazy.
Yeah, it saves around 52 seconds if you get it first try. It's a little bit of a coin flip.
It's probably the single largest sequence break since World 4 Skip.
Yeah, oh, it is, for sure. And World 4 Skip was found approximately 3 days after launch by the not Breath of the Wild, Skyward Sword glitch hunter named Adrillic. I hope I pronounced that correctly.
Yeah, it was that. It was him.
I thought it was Adrillic, yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he did quit this game, ironically, due to World 4 Skip, which I think is kind of funny.
World 4 Skip, maybe if we have time after, if people want to see it, I could maybe show it off. I have a file ready if we want to, like, show off glitches or something like that.
We'll get to that
Just
point.
do it anyway.
Yeah, we'll get to that point in the commentary
we gotta do the harder. We have to do the harder strat, which is World 4 Skip, which I don't know if I'll get first try. I'll try. It's really rough though.
That's where you just do all of World 4.
Is it closing your game and then opening like another file? That'd be pretty.
Oh, you'll see.
Yeah,
I'm gonna ask for serious time for that. It's rough.
Yeah, you just start playing Tropical Freeze in the middle of the run.
Tropical Freeze.
My favorite part of Splatoon.
I know that reference.
You ever played Tropical Freeze?
I have.
I haven't beaten it
It's
though.
so good. It's such a good game.
Yeah,
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, Country Returns as well is also really cool. So, this is a level where there's this kind of first significant portion of RNG in the run, and Splatoon, this game in comparison to the sequel doesn't have as much major components of RNG, but this level is an example. So you see these enemies called flutters, and the flutters in the first room kind of have this pattern variance of like
really quick. I'm gonna anger some people here. You new fashion kids and your Messiah skips. I don't need that. Whatever.
I shouldn't practice it, even though it's not too bad.
So Messiah skip is another skip that was like recently found.
In June of last year.
Yeah, you can explain it because you know
that's the one you're talking about, where like you can jump over that wall.
Yeah, the skip in 12 is called Messiah, where you skip the key in the checkpoint elevator here.
Yeah,
it's pretty interesting. It's
right up the wall, like over on the left.
Not good.
I can link you a clip of that later, Tones. It's a bit hard to explain.
That's not good RNG.
Yeah, so all the flutters in the first room only have like a one. That was actually pretty insane.
I mean, that was good RNG afterwards. Getting a flutter directly in front. The best RNG is you get a direct path straight forward with nothing else there.
Yeah, it's the optimal location for the scroll. The flutters in the first room there only have a 1 second variance, but the flutters in the last room there can kind of be wherever they want. I've had up to 30-second variances before. It's pretty terrible.
There's definitely some patterns that will just kill you if you try and go fast without looking where they are.
Yeah, I've had 3. I think the worst RNG I've had was 3 flutters in that middle portion, right in front of each other. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah, the variance in that stage is actually much worse than the other flutter stage, which is 25. For anyone who doesn't know, this is actually the multiplayer map called Blackbelly Skate Park. They actually reused this for an Octoling level, which is a subtype of a level found in this game where you just have to kill Octolings and get to the end, and it's pretty self-explanatory. You just go right to the end, and it's. I think this is actually the shortest segment in the game, if I'm not wrong. Or is that no? Yeah, this is the shortest segment of the game.
Also, this Octolings have what I like to call one-shot ability, which is not actually getting one shot, but it feels like you just die in one shot from them because all of their shot RNG hits you.
Yeah, it's not technically one shot, but it all catapults onto you, and you feel like you're getting lasered. And usually it's based on your movement. If you're out of the ink for too long, or if you take the wrong line, you will be kind of screwed. Nice
Also,
little
Yeah. Here's the first instance where we're gonna throw bombs. Basically, one splat bomb and one burst bomb will open up a kettle. So we do one after another, and we unlock one really far away, and we'll jump to that later to save travel time.
Yeah, kettles are actually, to unlock a kettle close optimally, it's a seeker in 2 shots, and to unlock a seeker from far away, it is actually a burst bomb and then a splat bomb. It doesn't really matter. Preferably it's the splat bomb first, so you can use the burst bomb while the splat bomb explodes to save time. I don't know what cycle you're trying to get there.
Close.
That
was very close.
That was
my shot RNG didn't pay.
Did you forget to look away?
No, I wait, look away. What does that change?
If you're walking on the grate and you're looking out of bounds, like to the right, while you're walking and you're just walking backwards, then he'll aim. He aims the tornado where you're looking.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if you look off the grate instead of looking forward, then you're not going to get hit by the tornado.
That's crazy. That's something I never knew.
That might be one of the most interesting yet useless facts I've ever heard. That's kind of insane, actually. So
there's way more useless facts.
I was going to say, in Splatoon, there's so much useless facts in here.
Did you know that the term bucket list didn't exist until 2007? When they
Well, that's...
I was going to say, Tones is a teacher. He probably has a lot more facts for you if you really want them, okay?
Yeah, I would have loved having Tones as a physics teacher. I'm not the best physics teacher.
Mr. Ballones, please tell me the art of speedrunning.
Mr. Baloney.
I would love to.
Mr. Baloney.
The worst thing that can happen is my students finding out that I am a speedrunner. Figuring out my channel.
They just look up you flossing for $6,000 on GDQ.
There's a reason why I have my name not linked to anything I do online. It's because of that. Because every single one of my other teachers, they have found by doing extensive sleuthing on Instagram and Facebook, and they find all their teachers, and it's creepy, and I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with a whole bunch of middle schoolers finding out that I play video games online for money. It would just be weird.
I'm just saying
for money. I'm only in it for the money. I hate video games, gross.
Oh yeah, I'm only in it for the money, of course.
Yeah. You can't spend
for the charity money, of course.
I mean, my favorite thing that happened with, by the way, this is just a cycle level. That's why we're talking over it. There really isn't much to talk about here. But something that I mentioned to Tones before this run started. I said, don't get canceled this time because at SGDQ, Tones at the very end of his run, at the very end of my run, we said to join the Splatoon speedrun community, and Tones said, don't bother playing Splatoon online because the community's dead.
I meant Splatoon 1. Like, no one's playing Splatoon 1 online, so if you want to do a speedrun, that's what I meant.
I loved seeing Splatoon. People get so upset on Twitter after that. Oh, that was great.
Yeah, the sarcastic remark was fairly interesting. Yeah, I could definitely tell that.
I mean, I was wrong. I should not phrase it like that. That being a part of the community is incredibly important to me, so I shouldn't be, saying things like that. But at the same time, it's kind of funny.
In their defense, I do think I remember you saying Splatoon 2's online is dead. I think you said that specifically.
Okay, never mind.
That's the only thing that people took from my run too. No one even there was one person who said, "Yo, congrats on your run," but everybody else just said, "Did you hear what Tones said?"
I'm gonna get canceled for anything. I'll hope it's that.
Tones is getting sussed out right now. It's just kind of weird.
It's so funny. I like that you go back to that, and that's what you see.
Anyway, this level is really cool. This is the only level.
Thank you for changing the topic.
Yeah, this is the only level gimmick in the game where all the stuff is invisible, and you're gonna think how are they seeing things? Like, they must have X-ray glasses on, right? But no, it's just, when you practice something enough and you develop that muscle memory, it's fairly straightforward.
Also,
that's a cool optimization for the burst on the wall.
Yeah, that really doesn't do anything. Sometimes I just throw it at the wall just because I'm used to it.
It is actually faster.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yes. Yeah.
I just did that on instinct. I didn't even know that was faster. There you go. The more you know. So I should mention though, there is I really like this skip at the end of the level. I call it fight skip. It's not really a skip. It's just you skip fighting enemies and
Yeah, you take a non-intended path through a series of platforms.
you become a squid pacifist.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, you have pacifist mode. Because normally you have to like climb up a couple walls and kill several enemies to kind of reveal the paths to take, but you can just take this really risky path instead. Joel will be showing that off. Skipping the checkpoint, kind of also very risky.
oh yeah, in case we don't mention it, my name's Joey. That's why I have to go through that.
Yeah, my name is
You guys know those squeegees on the wall that eat up your ink?
yeah.
Yeah,
Did you guys know that they shadow nerfed it in the first month of the game?
I did
Yes,
know about that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
they used to be twice the speed.
Yeah. So a lot of higher tier, top tier runners will play on 1.0 because it saves approximately 4 seconds at any percent, and
Why?
it saves. I time the loads tones. Trust me, I know. It saves around 4
Trust me,
seconds.
I figured it out.
Trust
I
me.
did the calculation.
Trust me,
I did the calculation.
your boomer knowledge is not enough to comprehend.
Knowledge.
Sorry, I can't open
Knowledge.
PDFs.
Oh, by the way, this is so fun fact about this boss. I love that this boss is a thing because this is the boss that Tones found rapid fire glitch on.
That is true.
Yeah. I hear the story for the 3rd time, but it's you know what? I don't care.
I hear
man.
this
You know what? I'm
story
not gonna
all
say
the
it then. How
time.
about that?
Okay, I'll say things. No.
No.
Yeah.
For those who want to know about it, that we've mentioned it every single run that Splatoon has had in the past. Okay, so there you go.
Yeah. Tones basically.
Tones did a good thing.
Yeah. He found this glitch accidentally, and it saved time in the end.
He had the ultimate that's never happened before,
That's
And found
never
a-
happened before.
and found a trick in a run. I love when that happens. So
So there's not a lot
Sean.
to explain this boss fight. The only thing I kind of want to explain is that you can kind of do this level however you, or this boss fight however you want. I know Tones has done this boss fight a different way. I've done it a different way, kind of painting the ground. Everyone can kind of do their own little strat, and they're not really like any different. It just depends on how much you ink the ground and how well you RFG and, you know, obviously your overall movement as well. I think this is kind of cool how Splatoon kind of lets you express yourself with your movement and your painting.
the only one I lose time on is the last one because some parts of the floor become uninkable, and instead of doing it closer to where I do it a little bit further away, so it loses like 2 seconds. You'll see what I mean when I actually do it here. But instead of, because you want to ink as close to Octawhirl as you can so that he just goes directly into your ink, but I don't know, I just do it this way. Again, I'm very unique where I value doing stuff that I'm used to than doing stuff, you know, the fast way.
Yeah, which I mean, some of your strats have kind of triggered me, but I mean, you roll with it.
Yeah.
It's okay, I've been
mistake?
called out by a lot of people.
There's a mistake that a lot of runners made like very early on before we understood this boss correctly, is that the amount of coverage they have on the floor doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Like it has to be bone dry for him to like escape from the ink. So you can kind of like just spray enough ink in the center and that'll be fine. But what we were doing before was we were so scared that he was going to break out of the ink that we would run out of ink by the time we were trying to shoot the tentacle and lose even more time.
Yeah, it's wild. Because, yeah, if you take too long to actually shoot the tentacle, the boss will actually reset, and then you'll suffer a 30-second time loss, because that's to go through another cycle. Yeah, and positioning and how much you ink is also very important, because I believe if you are too close to him as well, I found this out by doing the IL, he will take like an extra second or two to stop, versus if you're just farther away. Which I think is pretty interesting. Little optimization that people don't really know.
So coming up as World 4, World 4 has some really cool routing with how we actually unlock things,
Yeah.
and not only that, it's interesting because you don't get to see this in any percent. So if you only run any percent, well, I got a world for you.
Yeah, so until any percent, I was the first person to run any percent in their World 4 skip in December of 2019, and now it's a category on the Ascensions page. Or no, it's a miscellaneous category in the main leaderboard, but...
Oh, we've changed a lot of things, don't worry about it.
Yeah. For a while, this has been the only really way you could play World 4 from a new game, like a new file. and the routing is super interesting, and the levels are also, I would say this is one of the hardest worlds in the game. I don't know about...
Oh, I 100% agree.
I would like to hear Tone's opinion as well.
I think World 4 and 5 are like the worst.
I think World 4 was fine, except for the cycle-based level.
Yeah.
Which is the...
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that, yeah.
Yeah,
I see what you're talking about.
that one's the second last one I do.
Yeah, and honestly, like, there's really only, like, there's only one trick in World 4. You'll be seeing that a lot later on, which, the famous speedrunner, Valu, he's a very famous Mario runner. He had the record in this game. He got, like, the only time he had record was when he got a 102. He beat the record by, like, 10 minutes in 2015, when World 4 Skip got discovered. That was pretty wild. Yeah.
World 4 Skip was a crazy time.
I think that was even before I discovered this game was speedrunning.
Yeah.
It took me like another week, and then I was browsing the directory, and I think I saw like Fi-Fi and Kung Fu Food Cup doing speedruns, and I was just like, bro,
yeah, and
crazy.
Huge. I'm gonna get some quick shoutouts now, just to people in the community that like, one, inspired me, and two, who are doing a lot of really cool things for the community right now. Fuyo. Kung Fu Fruit Cup was a huge inspiration, along with Tones, for actually getting me to run this game. That's you, crazy. And then also, we can't not mention Talon Trotinian, who is a very good runner.
Yeah, Talon Trotinian, besides myself, you know, he's one of the few people to have had all 6 world records in this game, all 6 of them. He ran the game from like June 2015 to like January. I'm getting my dates wrong. June 2021 to January 2022. In 8 months, he destroyed this game more than anyone else, even more than me. And he's found so many new optimizations. You know, he is unfortunately not running this game right now. He's kind of taking a break from speedrunning.
Good for him.
You know, yeah, we love Ian. Yeah, yeah. This game is kind of poisonous. It's kind of like that ex-girlfriend that you kind of want to talk to. You know, she's kind of cool, but you know, she's kind of toxic as well.
It's never too late. It's never too late to text your ex. It's never too late.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, you know, she's kind of baddie, but I mean, like, you know,
I feel like this more depicts Splatoon 2's campaign. Okay,
right.
like.
Yeah, it's not the best for sure.
Splatoon, if you guys want to know like which Splatoon game you should run, my order has always been the same. 1, Octo Expansion, 2.
Super Mario 64.
164. I'm excited for 3. I'm hoping 3 isn't just a broken mess, because it's supposed to be more open, so a lot of us are worried that it's going to have like a game-breaking glitch that'll make you do any percent in 5 minutes, but we'll see.
Hey, I'm down. I'm down. Screw it.
Yeah, so I don't know what Tones think about this level, but I think this level sucks.
Oh, it does. It's more or less an auto-scroller here.
It's fine except for the auto-scroller.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, so this is the only can that you can't skip because of this platform you have to wait on. And it lasts about 30 seconds, 20 seconds.
Yeah.
It's not that fun, and you kind of just do nothing. You can kill the enemies, but all you can do is throw a burst bomb at that crate to explode it.
Oh, I don't do that.
Oh, you don't? Yeah, I was kind of telling you to, but...
I'm sorry, it was late. Oh, I almost missed that. Ooh.
Oh my god.
That was very close. I got eaten by the lip there. What is going on? There's a party, dude.
Oh, the Steph family come for Thanksgiving? That was kind of...
The squad, dude.
Yeah, the squad.
They heard them talking about your ex.
That is very...
Yeah, I don't really know what I talk about sometimes.
Me neither. I don't know why. Our commentary, I read something that basically sums up how us 3 are together in commentary. We're chaotic but funny.
Yeah, we're kind of like old college roommates, even though we don't know each other.
We never met in real life.
It's so weird, and like I don't mean this in a bad way, but we don't talk to each other. Like we don't DM each other or play games. It was just like, hey, like Joey messaged me. He's like, hey, I'm gonna be on GDQ again. I'm like, all right, I'm down. Let's go.
Yo, want to be on GDQ?
Yeah. So the only time the last time we interacted as a group
was GDQ.
GDQ the last time.
GDQ brings the world together, everyone.
Yeah, for sure. It's a nice get-together. So yeah, you know what? I also hate this level. This jump right here sucks.
It's so safe, yeah.
Oh my goodness, I've lost so many runs to that. And this jump right here, which I don't think he's gonna.
I'm not gonna go for it.
Do this jump. He's kind of a baby. No.
Thanks, man. Thanks, I appreciate it.
Can't do it.
We just talked about how I don't do most of the strats that are like super easy. That try right there is also, that jump is a little scary to go for sometimes over that box.
Yeah, he's kind of a baby Baba. Did not go for the 20-minute time save. Yeah.
Do I want to know what you mean by that?
You know what he means by that.
Okay.
You know.
Do I? Baba Black Sheep?
Wait. Well, no, it's just I think it's a slang term. Yeah, also
I don't know.
Slang?
Yeah, I think it is, or it means something. Anyway.
Yeah, let's talk about the game again, shall we?
So with kind of this room, with the mechanic with not having your feet painted, if you don't have your feet painted and you jump midair when a sniper shoots you, you get all your speed killed in midair and then you fall. And then because the checkpoint is at the beginning of the room, you have to restart all the way from the beginning of the room, and it sucks. But he went
it's
through
like
that
a
pretty well.
22-second time loss.
Yeah, same thing if you fail to jump in the second room. It's also a similar time loss. Here's one of my favorite unlocks in the game. Second favorite.
Oh yeah, I love this one. So we throw 2 splat bombs. Excuse me. There you go.
1 bomb, 2 bombs. Wait, this wasn't in the script. Yeah, no, I think it's really cool because you wouldn't think that you could throw a bomb from there, but you can. You can just barely reach there, and you super jump to that level. A couple levels after this, I believe that's.
It's yeah, that's the last one I do. Yeah. World 4.
Yeah, so believe it or not, this is actually a major RNG level. Joey's smartly going to be getting the armor because there's going to be 3 enemies here.
There's a lot of shot RNG. It's usually not that bad for any percent, but for all scrolls, we do have to do a little bit of a launch back here. And it's going to make the cycles a little bit, or the enemy RNG a little bit worse. So we have to go through a bunch of enemy ink.
This is Bluefin Depot, right?
Yes,
yeah, Bluefin Depot.
Okay.
Fun fact, this map wasn't in the base game. Okay, and that's why we grabbed it.
Yep, that's why you get the armor.
But yeah, that's Bluefin Depot wasn't in the original game, and this was, but it was in the story mode. So you could. That's what I love about Splatoon is that you could test out future maps by playing the story mode.
Yeah, it's kind of like the umbrella from Splatoon 2, kind of a similar pathos, I guess, or logic.
Yeah, also coming up, not this level, but the next one, it's actually an old version of a map that got heavily redesigned, which was Urchin Underpass, and that's the only way you can see how Urchin Underpass used to look.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. So this level, actually...
It's bad.
Yeah,
it's very bad.
I wouldn't say it's bad. It's just very
no, it's bad.
Sleeper, I guess.
No, it's bad. Like,
it's bad.
Whichever team got spawn camp lost.
This is a really, really bad level, and the reason why is because there's a pretty tight cycle I gotta hit.
Yeah, you gotta go faster at the entire level to hit that cycle at the end.
If I hit it, it's gonna be nice. It takes about 10 seconds, so...
Yeah, I was gonna say too that the optimal cycle in this level for all scrolls is actually oh wow.
I got my jump eaten there. That was rough.
It's actually the same as any percent No World Foreskip. The only difference in that in No World Foreskip, there's actually a cycle that's like 2 seconds faster, but due to where the scroll is located, which is you have to go backwards a bit in the last part of this end room, you unfortunately cannot do that cycle, so it largely stays the same.
What? Okay,
oh, man.
I don't know what happened. Again, that's another case of the game just eating my input for breakfast. All right, cool.
I think actually what happened there is you lost speed because there's like a dead patch in the middle. And,
maybe.
Yeah,
well, that sucks. So this is you could usually climb up this entire thing here, but instead we're just gonna have to wait a little bit.
Yeah, so you can actually, if you like to complain about the game, this can be a game for it because some of the micro RNG is pretty terrible, and it's really not your fault. That was an example of it.
Yeah, that one wasn't even like, I think there was just like a little lip on that edge there that I didn't ink, so that killed me.
And because Joey is going so fast, he's trying to pay attention to like paying your feet like a lot of new runners do and taking your time. He's not going to be necessarily looking at, hey, is this a straight path? Are my feet panned? He's just going to go for it. And that's what a lot of the top runners do, and what the mentality is you have to adapt to what you're given, and that's what separates a great runner from a kind of more mediocre runner.
There's also a lot of micromanaging this game with like knowing which bombs you have out, when you need to have them out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And knowing how long you should be shooting and when you should be going in squid form.
The Inkzuka we will need for later. That will be used in the mini boss for this level.
Yeah, this is the coolest of these Ink Striker levels because we actually get to do a really quick kill method to getting him.
Yeah, there's that, and there's also pretty much the only skip in World 4. I'll let
I don't
Joey
even go
kind
for
of...
this, so...
Oh, what? You don't go for that?
Welcome back to another episode of Joey, you don't do this? What?
Joey, you don't do this?
That's my favorite TV show. I'm the host.
Yeah, so normally there you can go up a sponge and it was discovered by Balu and it skips going around those corners and the ramps. It saves around 7 seconds. It's a pretty neat little time save.
And here you go. Pretty easy.
A cool fun job. Yeah, good job. Good job, son.
Thank you.
So, so I don't know if any of you guys knew this, but specials, well, you'll know the specials, they get affected by RFG, most specials actually, but the only spot in the game where an RFG special is actually faster is in that boss fight. So if you do a proper like aiming method and you do an RFG correctly, you can actually save about 1 second in that boss fight. Now, huge time save. It's pretty much an IL strat I start going for in my runs, but it's pretty cool. I mean, you don't really see that anywhere else in the game that's, like, useful.
So, by the way, this boss, thank God this boss isn't an 8% because this boss sucks so much.
I agree. This is the worst boss.
Yeah, for sure. This is the worst boss. It's definitely the most interesting boss outside of the 3, but man, is it annoying when you miss a bomb throw.
It's very easy to mess up this boss, and it loses so much time when you do.
Oh yeah, he sends out his teeth. Think of the eel boss fight from Sunshine where you kind of got to clean its teeth. This is kind of like that, but here you just give it a, you remove all its teeth.
I got sent flying.
Oh yeah, so if you jump on its jaw at the right time, you hit kind of a speed boost upwards. Unfortunately, it does lose time, but still a swaggy strat nonetheless. This boss has not been featured in other Splatoon game. It's only in this game. A lot of the bosses have seen some form of remaster in like Hero Mode and OE for Splatoon 2, but unfortunately not. The Octama, I believe it's called, is...
Octama, yes.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you for the validation.
That's twice now. Yeah, and not only that, this was the only Splatoon boss that was never featured in a GDQ until I was able to get New Game Plus into SGDQ 2020.
Yeah, this boss is a lot better in NG Plus because you can throw up to 5 burst bombs from a max tank. It's pretty nuts. Pretty insane.
I don't even know why I inked those. Like, it doesn't even matter because I have to ink these ones.
Yeah, so it's pretty easy to hit the teeth there.
3 times.
Instead of, yeah, 3 times.
Why not?
Let's go. 3 times in a row.
Okay, so this is the one that I play very, very safe on because I've missed this scroll so many times. I'm just gonna walk right into it. After swimming for like a little bit here.
You don't do the cutscene skip in this boss?
I jumped over it.
Oh!
Oh my gosh.
Well, run invalid.
Do we want to go back for it?
You probably shouldn't.
I think we should just let's just continue. Honestly, if it's PBs, this doesn't count, but it's fine.
Yeah, well, I mean, it wastes about a minute to get the scroll again, so yeah, I guess we.
I would also like to say, what's your PB? 108 or something?
114.42.
114. Okay, so you have a 120 estimate, and you've only died once.
Yeah, I'd rather not redo the boss though. Oh no.
Go back before Octavio. That way you get
before Octavio.
Yeah, we'll talk about history or something.
Nah,
some random topic.
This one's invalid. I don't want to ruin the pace or anything. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're gonna. Well, you always PB in a marathon run. That's how it works, though.
I mean, I literally was on PB pace until that. So.
Oh. I was almost gonna say, Joe, you don't do that? So anyway, this cutscene you also don't see in any percent because World 4 skip does not just skip World 4, but it also skips this cutscene when you enter World 5 where it pans and shows everything. That is one of the longest world pan cutscenes in the game. It's around 25 seconds. It also skips that text between Octavio and agents 1 and 3 or 2 and 3.
Yeah, 1 and 2.
Yeah, 1 and 2, which is pretty long. So it's like it skips like, it's a 13-minute time save. It's a very neat strat there. Again, utilizing the far away bomb unlock strategy.
Now is the time that we will.
What if it's faster to do World 4 skip?
We've talked about this actually.
So Joey gave a bit of this information in his glitch run. I have also timed, or not timed, but I've tested to see if World 4 skip is possible because, well, it is technically possible to do, and all it would do is it would skip the cutscene, like as you enter World 5, so it would save like 30 seconds. So the route that I did was I beat every level, or I did World 4 skip after World 3, beat World 5, then I beat World 4, and then as I beat World 4, I super jumped to a level in World 5, and it still activated the cutscene.
Oh, right. Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember posting it on the Discord, and it was pretty unfortunate because I thought I was trying to like my best to like, you know, take a day to set up that file and do it, but unfortunately it is not possible. Even if you play World 5 up to Octavio, beat World 4, then super jump back to World 5, the flag is still there. Oh my god, what?
Nice
Joey?
cycle.
Where'd you learn that?
What do you mean, where did I learn that? It's the fast cycle.
That's a cycle everyone does. I'm proud of you.
Oh my god, Joey did something that people normally do? What? That's crazy.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
So this level is actually the exact same as any percent. You can get the cycle still relatively easily, even while getting the scroll. So the CG for this, or the community gold, it's a difference of around 2.3 seconds. So yeah, it's not too much to talk about. Kind of a hard jump there at the end, but Joey got it pretty well, I would say. I think he got the jump. I was looking at the chat and looking at the screen, so two different things.
Yeah, now is the, by the way, now is the time that we should probably change the category name to almost all scrolls.
Almost.
All scrolls minus
It's been on
one.
the screen since like you decided not to go back. The birth of a new category.
Hey,
It's like when you use
know what that
69
means.
stars in Super Mario 64.
Exactly. You know what that means. This is world record, everybody. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't know if Ovo Master Ozzy is watching, but shoutouts to him for submitting a New Game Plus run, but forgetting to do level 7. And that was kind of a giant meme for like a year, that you don't do level 7 in Hero Mode NG Plus for Splatoon 2. He's also been running this game recently. A lot of people actually been running this game, newer runners, and this game is still seeing a fair amount of like activity, even so long after it's released.
Yeah,
This level,
all for that Splatoon 3 hype.
yeah, this level is actually Salt Spray Rig. This is one of probably my least favorite levels in all of All Scrolls. You have to go all the way out of your stage, all the way out of the stage on like the other side to get the scroll. It's super, there's lots of RNG. Joey's taking the safe path right now, but normally you have to go through those guys and go down and go up, and you have to get the armor. It's less than a second faster to skip the armor, and 90% of the time you will get shot. I don't know what Tones' experience is with that, but God, it's...
Yeah, it happens sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Did you know this is the only map in Splatoon that does not have rotational symmetry?
Yes, it has a asymmetrical design,
That is
I believe.
true.
Well, it is symmetrical, just bilinear symmetry and not rotational symmetry. So that means that the blue team on the left side has a slight advantage because their wallage is on the Inkling side, because every Inkling shoots over their right shoulder. So their body is more hidden when they're sniping than on the other side where you have to move your whole body out to shoot. So
Yeah, I remember specifically that being discovered when I played competitive in this game.
Nice little skip
back
there,
in the
by
day.
the way. Joe was just jumping over those barriers there.
Yeah, really cool. It's a cool skip. So I don't know. You probably have to know. So there's a kind of a small strike you can do at the end. I don't think there's what you can kind of do it in like 23, but if you move specifically throughout the stage, if you move slower, you can get them kind of stun locked in this animation next to the balloon. And if you throw a burst bomb at it, it will kill the Octa Striker early, and it'll save about 1 second. It's a little deep time save. You have to go slower to go faster. Who would have known, right?
You know what? I can't deal with having almost all scrolls as a category. I'm sorry. I'll go back to the boss at the end of this world.
boss 2.
I can't in good conscience finish this run by not technically finishing this run.
Go to boss 6.
All right, so this right here, it may look like I'm just throwing bombs blindly.
Yeah,
Did that not hit? Oh, that did hit. Okay, good.
That is one of the worst unlocks in the game. Oh, you jump way too early there.
Yeah, again, there was no ink there, so.
Yeah, so if you fail, I have to go back because you didn't get to 25. That's kind of close.
Come on, man.
You jumped also too early there.
Give me a break.
Should probably paint the wall first. So yeah, that unlock is really weird because if you have too much speed when throwing it from the sponge, the bomb will actually kind of roll off. Oh my god! Wow,
I never have to paint the wall there. I've never had to, so that's why. That's why it surprised me that I missed that twice. That's a new one. That's never happened.
Yeah, third time's the charm, as we say in this commentary. So this is kind of the last level with major RNG components in the run.
That's bad.
And yeah. Oh, well, you also took a path where you aggroed him. So
yeah, that's really easy to do.
Yeah, it really is your fault.
Yeah, we're just gaslighting Joey.
To be fair, everything that's gone wrong in this, I can't blame on the game. I mean, we kind of blame the game for me missing scroll, but not really.
Oh, yeah. It's like you jumped a little bit too high, like maybe a cosmic ray hit your console, maybe.
Yeah, again, that's happened before. Like, I am known for missing that scroll.
Cosmic ray?
No, not that. I'm known for missing that scroll. Okay, nice little jump.
Kind of got a TikTok like upward there. For the boss score. So
it better not happen again.
So with this, there is so many different patterns that the key guy can take. He can be anywhere in the map. He can be top, left, right. The optimal way is the center.
Okay.
That is probably one of the worst RNG spots I've ever seen. That is some of the worst. That's
it's not
the worst
bad.
RNG.
It's still like a long.
What are you talking about?
I was about to say, it's not like I've seen way worse.
Well, the thing is, like, if it keeps going straight down the right, then it's
if it kept going straight, but it stopped there, so that was pretty nice.
Yeah.
The worst one is top left corner or bottom right corner.
Really? I've never seen it bottom right. I've
I don't think you can get to bottom right, but top left definitely happens, and that's bad.
Okay, so this is what I like to call the shot RNG jump. If my shots just can completely miss this. Okay, good.
Yeah, it's mostly because Ian does not jump. Ian, the record holder for several categories in this game, he actually jumps there because he doesn't want to lose his run and he wants to be consistent. But no, Joey goes for that, and I applaud him because you got to save those seconds where it counts, right?
Speaking of consistent, speaking of strats that some people don't go for, here's another very risky jump.
Yeah, the application there of burst bombs, you can use that to aggro the two enemies, and because the weak spot is actually on its back, you can throw a burst bomb, de-aggro them.
I meant what I'm gonna be doing later, but that too.
Okay, yeah, and it's a nice little 5-second time save. And you'll be using it a lot throughout this stage, mix of like seekers and burst bombs. I can't even imagine not using this section without the, I can't imagine
I've never missed those.
Using this section without the Ingzuka. That would be an interesting experience.
Right here, this strat feels so cool to hit.
Not this strat. The strat is actually,
I hit the corner.
Yeah, no.
Everybody close your eyes. It didn't happen. Close your eyes.
Yeah, a little flashlight there. Wait, can you get it?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
I always go for that. It's such a swag strat.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is really the only stage in the game where you see Seekers being used on burst bombs as well.
Yeah, that was a little scary. Thankfully, their splash didn't hit that.
Yeah, how did they not deflate the sponge? That was very...
cool.
So because the sponges are at your feet, you're going to be using Seekers for those and burst bombs that...
Yeah, that sucks. I usually throw a burst bomb to distract that guy, but I was out of ink, so I didn't do it.
Yeah, if your movement is not the fastest on that cycle, across those sponges, you will kind of aggro them.
All right, let's see how good my Ingzuka aim is. Nope.
Wait.
Nope. Okay.
You went behind it? Oh, third tries again.
Third tries all the time. Let's go. It better not be third try to get that boss, I swear. I'm going to be very angry.
Dying 2 times in Octavio? Yeah, well, it might happen. I'm not sure.
It better not.
This is the final stage in the game, and honestly,
well, first I'm gonna go do the boss again.
Yay!
Yeah. There we go. Oh wow, what do we talk about?
You guys have 1 minute to talk about anything you want.
Playing any good board games recently?
No.
I've played Uno for.
Is that a board game?
That's
Yeah.
not a board game.
Card games are not board games.
Okay, well,
Thankfully, by the way, thankfully I can skip cutscenes because I've already fought this boss before. So.
doesn't Monopoly have cards? Isn't that a card game?
No, but it's not based around only cards. There's a board.
Yeah, I've got exposed like twice in this.
And also, Uno's not even a good board game.
I'm pretty sure we all have gotten exposed for different things this time.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not just one person.
I don't know. I've had more fun with Go Fish than Uno myself. I'm more of a
There
Go
is
Fish.
a Monopoly card game called Monopoly Deal, by the way.
I
Wait,
did
what?
not know that was a thing.
That's insane.
I need
That
proof
seems
of
like a fake game that you get from the dollar store.
Yeah,
It really
it's
does,
made
yeah.
by
It's
Hasbro.
like in the cashier line. It's just
Okay,
a
here we go.
Monopoly
Everybody
deal.
hold your breath. Okay, good.
Hey,
There we go.
Oh, here, we can show this.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
bag.
Zapfish.
Head pats.
Or it doesn't like the Zapfish doesn't like move around when you complete a level from like once you complete it. It has a different animation, which I think is pretty neat. So coming up is I'm kind of shocked we do this level last because it's honestly pretty hard. There's some pretty hard tricks in it.
I think this is like the coolest level to say for last, just because it feels like the most unique.
Yeah, because of the switches, which are not a mechanic utilized in any other part of the game.
I mean, this is what Nintendo likes to do. Anybody who knows Nintendo, they like to, especially recently, they like to use one mechanic and then throw it to the side and pretend it never happened.
We'll be using that Inkzuka for a section of this level later. It's actually faster to do that enemy group section with part of the Inkzuka. Tones is actually pretty familiar with switches because he helped discover a glitch called pause glitch, which is a pretty niche technique in Splatoon 2 where you ink half of a switch and you pause the game and for some reason it counts it as activated. It's unfortunately does not work in this game, but it's pretty cool nonetheless.
I did that?
Did you discover pause?
Wait,
I think
did
you
you?
did. Yeah,
I can't remember if I did or not. I remember. Okay, so
That's how you can tell that Tones hasn't ran this game in a while.
Okay, so I remember there's a YouTuber named Game Champ, and she did a video trying to beat Splatoon without using any weapons firing, and it turns out she did like the level wrong, and I was like, no, there's pause glitch, you can do this, and then we went back and corrected it. And that's the only time I remember like actively working with, but I can't remember if I invented it or not. I don't know.
All right,
Yeah.
right here, I'm actually going to use the bubbler. We haven't mentioned the bubbler, but there you go.
Yeah, you don't use the bubbler at all in this run, except for this. You can, the bubbler is basically a multiplayer special. Wow, if you die right now, like, okay, you're not gonna
I didn't die. I wanted to just squid my way up there, but oh well.
If you die, I would have laughed. Like, I'm sorry, but
I expect nothing less. The thing is about you two is that I know you two will not hold back at laughing at me if I mess it up.
oh yeah, I mean, your commentary is a glitch might not have roasted you, but we're all comrades. In
The
some
thing about
form.
my commentaries at Glitch, no shade to my commentaries at Glitch. So because we mentioned it a few times, I ran this game literally 2 weeks ago at an actual
The same
in-person
category.
marathon. Yeah, the same category and everything. I ran this at Glitch Infinite from GSA. And it was the first time I did an in-person event. It was cool. There was no Splatoon runners there. So-
Yeah, I would have gone, but I have financial issues, so I could not get over there. So
I also would have gone, but I have work issues.
Yeah, both dates said it was going to be on. Tones had an issue with for both of them. So we weren't able to get you out there.
No,
So
Joey
you-
had a fantastic showcase.
So you may be looking, by the way, at the estimate, and you may be saying, whoa, he's really far ahead. He's going to be 10 minutes under estimate. No. So this boss takes 9 minutes.
Yeah, it's around the fastest time they can do this boss in all scrolls is around 7 minutes and 43 seconds. So around 8 minutes is like pretty good.
Yeah, I usually get around like a low 9 minutes, because basically this is Octavia, by the way. This is the best final boss in any video game, in my opinion. I love this final boss.
And the music is also banging. Yeah, Joey.
Do you disagree?
Definitely better final bosses. I'm sorry.
Okay, personally, of a Nintendo, I mean.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what he meant. Yeah, so because like how Joey moves the camera and his inconsistency at doing the traditional methods for the cycle skips, he'll be actually using the environment to do those. We will explain those in the next phase, because how they work is that you need 2 fists to come out, and it kind of manipulates his position. Tone's gonna get more into that when we get to phase 2, because
Oh god, I'm not gonna remember anything.
oh no, I mean, hey man, if you want to explain, that's fine. I just thought you'd.
Dude, I'm just gonna say words and hope that it's correct. I'm just gonna let that out right now.
Is that your MO for any commentary you do?
Yes,
I'm just gonna say words.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say words.
Yeah,
That explains what we talked about Uno like a little bit ago.
yeah, goo goo gaga. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, we'll explain that more in the next phase, but yeah, because the fists don't really come out both at a time, you're not really going to see in this phase. Also, you notice a neat little strat there with the subwoofer is that Joey can jump and also RFG, and that's much faster than shooting the back normally, and he also is going to do this with the fists.
Yeah,
it's also,
RFGing, it's like the true test of RFG.
yeah, you RFG for like, not 8 minutes straight, but like a very long
Also,
time.
this is the scroll. Don't forget this exists.
Yeah, because once you complete phase 2, you cannot go back. You have to like, you have to either like, you have to leave the level basically. So there's no environmental thing here. So Joey's not going to be doing the cycle skip. So if he got it there, if he did the proper way,
I can, however, get a fist skip here. So if I mash fast enough and do a good enough RFG, I can get a fist skip.
He's actually staying hidden in the ink here so that Octavio turns.
Nice. Let's go. So that saves about, what is it, 5 seconds to get a fist skip?
It's more. It saves an entire cycle.
Yeah, doing it there, I don't know if it's like faster there, but that is a fist skip. So pretty much what it is like you mash so this game runs at 60 FPS, right? You mash so fast on the first fist that comes out.
Actually, wait. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I don't think you did it right.
No, I didn't do the Octavia skip. I skipped him sending out another fist there. He's supposed to send out 2.
But I'm saying at those 2 fists, he should have been at the very back.
Yeah, he was back at the first fist. I skipped the second fist. I don't do the skip on that phase.
You can skip the
it's okay. So what? I don't know. I can't remember anything. I'm saying words again.
Yeah, I might have to get you your medicine, Tones.
I'm talking to the doctor tomorrow.
Yeah, anyway. So this game runs at 60 FPS, and you have to mash so fast that the game will not register if the second fist comes out. It is pretty much the fastest way, or the most consistent way to do cycle skips. And it requires a lot of practice to do consistently. So.
Oh, I missed it. Wow, I missed the easy one.
Oh yeah, so timing that can be kind of weird because
I went late. That's my bad.
Yeah, so with shooting a balloon, the balloon has a slight delay before exploding, so you kind of have to time that before the fist comes out, which also has a bit of a delay. You can notice it with a sound cue. And if you shoot too late, like Joey did there, you will not get the cycle skip. And
I thought it was going to go for the other one.
The way you said that was so condescending. Like, if you miss it, like Joey just did.
I didn't even realize how you said that.
You mean nice?
It's probably still the worst commentary like ever.
No, dude, are you kidding me? This is great.
Look, I've done like was not like the 6th GDQ run I've been a part of, maybe even more. If I've learned anything, commentary doesn't matter. Just say whatever you want, and people are gonna want.
We talked about the Monopoly card game. We've gone far enough already.
Yeah, I talked about X's. So with
it's never too late.
Yeah, it's never too late.
Text your ex.
So with 4 and 5, you can use the balloons actually to skip attack cycles. And what this does is it pushes Octavio all the way back, and it skips an attack cycle of him sending out robots. And the later that you go on in the phases, the more time that it saves. So in phase 3, it saves 30 seconds, and this it might save 40. I'm not actually sure. I haven't timed it. That's one thing I haven't timed is the cycle skips, but
the one thing you haven't.
I'm pretty sure that every cycle before shooting fist is like 15 to 20 seconds.
Yes.
Yeah. Depending on the phase. So that's why it's very important. The way the cycle skip works, the only thing that I remember, this is not just me saying words, I actually remember this one.
Oh, I got the other one. Okay, good. So I got this one.
Yeah, there is another thing to it, is that if when you shoot 2 fists at him, the second fist is going to deal half knockback. But if you delay the second fist and you shoot it really slowly, then he'll cool down and it will count as if it's a full hit, which knocks him back far enough in order to do the cycle skip correctly.
Yeah, which is another way to do a cycle skip where you kind of shoot the first one a little bit fast, not quite fist skip level, but then you delay the second fist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most optimal way is to do the fist skip where the second fist just doesn't come out at all. But you can just do the delay fist if you miss it, where you kind of tap fire onto the fist to slow it down a lot before it hits the ground.
Yeah, so I'm actually kind of glad that I got one of the skips. I actually got the harder one, but I missed the easy one, so there you go.
Yeah, that was an optimal phase 4.
Speedrunning in a nutshell. So with fist skips and the cycle skip method that Tones described, they actually are the same.
Oh, I got another one. Nice. Let's go.
Oh, what? You got that? Okay, well, you're going to be set for the rest of the fight. That's like...
All right, there you go. I got the hard one.
Maybe get that one set.
Yeah, you're set. GG, man.
Nice, sounds good. So, by the way, just so you know, time is coming up in about like a minute. I think this will still be a 115, even with the even with fighting the boss again. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah, very good job in that. But yeah, that is actually the way that top runners do that. You are expected to get a fist skip in the very beginning there, and that fist skip is one of the most lenient in the game. You can even get that in NG Plus without RFG, which is pretty cool. And now
I think NG Plus Octavio is harder than any % Octavio.
No, it is. Ian actually found a way to do RFG in New Game Plus, which is pretty wild. Yeah. It saves like a couple more seconds over.
I didn't mean to.
Not optimal. Hey, you're losing time.
That was lost time, but oh well. I didn't mean to. I wasn't even trying to do that.
Yeah, that's not a cycle skip. That's a normal fist set optimization.
This will beat my glitch time, ironically, and I had to refight a boss fight. Cool. Good to know.
Dang, you're cracked.
No, that just means like everyone's bad.
Why are you not using the Izuka?
Izuka.
I do it here now. I do it on the last two.
Alright, let's go.
Alright, get ready on time.
You're gonna miss.
And
time.
I hit the split key.
Let's go.
I'm not timing this.
I don't even know what time you got. I was not watching the stream.
You know what? I will happily take. That's a mid 116. Considering I had to refight a boss fight, I'm completely happy with that.
Yeah, what's your PB? Like a high 114?
I have a 114.52. That was PB pace until I had to go back and do that refight. So
good job.
Yeah, good job, man.
That was a nice run.
Yeah, if that wasn't the case, we probably would have PB'd. Can I get an okay? Like, are we good to like show some glitches? I'd love to do that. Okay, we're gonna do a glitch exhibition.
We have 4 hours.
All right, let's go.
Thanks for this clarification.
All right, who's down to do Splatoon 2? Tones, you next. You want
to play a game of Wingspan?
Do you want to play?
No one knows what Wingspan is. Yeah, it's up and coming.
I'm gonna switch this. Curse me.
Oh my god.
Wow, that's
This is my glitch exhibition, me.
That looks like it looks like one that you would make in a speedrun of making a me.
That is true. Yeah.
Your me looks like David Spade from that movie.
It's that one.
Oh yeah, the movie with David Spade.
Yeah,
I love that movie. Yes, the movie with David Spade in it. I love that movie. Is that the real title?
No, it's Dirt Joe, or I don't remember what
Joe
it's
Dirt.
called.
Joe Dirt.
Joe Dirt. Yeah, it's pretty good.
This is what we resulted to. All right, so we're gonna show off 3 glitches. 2 of them we mentioned in the run. This one has nothing to do with the speed run or any category. I'm gonna hope that there's good RNG.
It might be better
to kid.
Maybe I'll show the other ones first. We'll show the other ones. That one depends on RNG on where Inklings spawn in the overworld.
Yeah, so like I said, with all scrolls, you don't really see a lot of the glitches just due to how the scrolls change the levels, or it's just not possible. But this is possibly one of the most iconic glitches of old, besides World War Skip.
This is what made me want to run Splatoon, by the way.
Yeah,
this one?
This glitch. I love this glitch. So, just keep a note how levels end, right? We have to touch a Zapfish to end the level. All right? Just pay attention to how we end this level. There's a Zapfish. I didn't touch it.
Oh.
And it's over.
Pat. So the way that works, I love this trick because it's so interesting. This is the only trick that of this kind of caliber that works this way in Splatoon, in any Splatoon game. Basically, we trick the game into thinking we touched the Zapfish by breaking it open. And when that Octoling flies through the broken open Zapfish, they have the same code value as an Inkling. So the game thinks that we touched the Zapfish, which is cool.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is the only spot in the game where that is even possible.
And then this is World 4 skip.
Yeah, so with this, it's kind of a 3-pixel wide gap that Joey has to ink. And because there's blocks instead of an ink rail, if you travel along this, this ledge, you can get on the wall. Joey will be doing the beginner setup here. That was utilized by Tones Ballones in his speedruns.
Let's go, first try. Very nice. And
yeah,
so
very easy.
As you can see here, I have not done any levels. It says 6 more Zapfish from World 4. I have not done anything in World 4, and there's no cutscene here. So there you go. That's World 4 skip, and it's used in 90%. That's probably the most, like, the biggest reason why this game blew up for a short time. Yeah. All right, so now those are the two in the overworld levels. Now let's go do the dumb one.
Yeah, this is a plaza or kind of like normal kind of glitch that isn't really useful for speedruns, but it's still neat nonetheless.
Right.
Joey needs a couple of squids to spawn in. Oh, there you go.
Okay, so this is gonna look really weird, and I promise this is a glitch. Oh, second try.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
All right, so thank you, Donna and Masaka, for that. So as you can see, I'm out of bounds. You're not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to be able to walk through this or anything like that, right? Like, this is not correct. There's this whole invisible wall. There's 2 ways to do this glitch. That way, which was found by, I'm pretty sure Fuyo found it, and then...
Fuyo Nico, yeah.
Yeah, Fuyo Nico found it, and thank God, because the other way is so random whether you get it or not. You have to jump over top one of the squid's heads. And
Yeah, I remember that.
Squid at a very precise angle, and it's very annoying. So I'm gonna do it again because there are things I want to show off. But well, as everybody says, we should touch grass, right, guys?
Yeah, we should. Oh,
So about that.
That explains why I don't go outside. Yeah, that explains why I don't go outside. Yeah, so if you touch anywhere beyond the pavement, for some reason there's no 4. So that will kill you. So let's just go back out of bounds again. Anytime?
It's a little bit precise even with, that setup.
Okay, so there's a few things I want to show off. These are really cool. Like, so there's these 3 shops that you can, look at, but you can never go inside because there's a loading zone. But if we do a little bit of weird out of bounds moving here, there's the shoe store, and we're right here. There's these sweet J's that we have over here. But we're stuck in the floor. We can't actually go in there. We can actually, though, walk right into the clothing store. So yeah, put my face right there.
It's just a texture?
Yeah, it's kind of cursed.
It's a little cursed. It's just a little bit.
That's like a Splatoon moment.
And then you can walk right into Sheldon's shop here as well, which is really cool. And then if we stay out of bounds as well, we can also walk underneath the stage here too, which also looks a little cursed, just seeing the head popping out.
Oh, yeah, it's not good.
Okay, so
I can
let me
feel the Jaws theme playing.
Okay, I gotta do it one more time because there's one more thing I want to show off. So thankfully, I've gotten it first try every time so far. Well, technically second. So.
Is this something you haven't shown a glitch?
No, all of these I've shown a glitch.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I remember you. I don't remember anything else unless my memory is not good.
Oh my god. Can you get through there, please? There we go, thank you. Okay, so the last thing I want to show is this amiibo box right here. It is very reminiscent of how the amiibo boxes were when you actually bought a Splatoon amiibo, but the same thing is actually, you never get to see this unless you do this glitch. The back of the amiibo box is actually fully, colored in, and it's written in Inkling language, which is really cool. And you would never see this unless you do this glitch. So let's get a little bit of a closer look, and...
Oh.
Now I'm soft-locked. So yeah, that's a fitting ending. Thank you for having us on. It's always a treat to show Splatoon off. I'm glad this game's getting more and more love over the years, leading up to Splatoon 3.
Yeah,
again.
this May it will be 7 years old. Which
Oh
is
my
wild.
god, don't tell me that. That's crazy. Yeah, I've been King J. I stream on Twitch at KingJ0444. What about you guys? Where can they find you?
I don't know if you want to shout out anybody as well before you shifted it over. Do you want to shout out?
I was gonna do shoutouts after.
Oh, okay. Well, you can find me at twitch.tv/CaptainHydrus. I am trying to stream more. I am, again, the world record holder. I have a 107.02, and I'm trying to get the first 106 in the category. So if you'd like to see high-level gameplay, be sure to follow me. I would appreciate it.
And I'm Tones Ballones everywhere. It might be Tones Ballones _ on some sites, but it's Tones Ballones here, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, huge shout outs to the Splatoon community, all of them, the entire Splatoon Discord. If you want to speedrun any Splatoon game, including Splatoon 3, we're going to be doing a huge day one blind any % race of Splatoon 3. If you want to be part of that, just join the Splatoon Discord. Or if you want to run any of these games right now, you can do that as well. And there's a lot of people there who can help you with glitches, strats, movements, anything you need. Do you guys have any other shout outs?
I would just like to as well shout out the amazing community. Actually, Splatoon 2 ILs was the first thing I got into speedrunning with. I didn't get into Splatoon 1 until about a year later, but Splatoon 80% and just this game in general is something I've ran the most consistently. And I love this game, I love the runners, and I love to shout out, all the old boys, Tones Bluefish, all his people got me into running the game. And the newer people, all of you inspire me too to keep pushing and try to adapt to the newer strats and stuff, and never stay, always stay humble, because there might be someone better than you. And I like to shout out Joey as well, because I didn't realize how much of a good commentator he was, and it makes runs like these pretty interesting, especially in a dynamic with Tones. I think we have. I hope we do this again sometime, because it's pretty fun. Just talking.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll talk not in a marathon only.
Right. Yeah. That's it for me, I guess. Just he's awesome.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
That's all good.
And thank you, the three of you, for bringing all the energy. Like, I stayed mostly quiet through it because, I didn't want to disrupt the chaotic but somehow still controlled environment that y'all had going on.
Seems about right.
But no, seriously, it was a delight to watch the run and just kind of relive the game as well, because it's been years since I've played it. But thank you all, everyone, for being here. I just want to remind y'all that if you enjoyed Frost Fatales, later this month on March 26th, we're going to have the Frame Fatales Game of the Month celebration on GDQ Hotfix. If you go to gamesdonquick.com/framefatales, you'll get more information about that series of events. But I know that the thing on March 26th, the Game of the Month celebration, is going to be covering every single game of the month that they have done since Frame Fatales started doing that. So that's starting all the way with Pokemon Snap in 2019, all the way up to now. So it's going to be a lot of runs. It's going to be awesome. You should check that out. And also, if you have any idea for your own show or one-off events, feel free to go to gamesdonquick.com/hotfix to submit your ideas. And speaking of that, we have Sonic and the Glitchless Gauntlet, the latest addition to the Sonic and the Series events, coming on April 9th and 10th. That event's going to feature glitchless speedruns from the Sonic series. I'm hosting it alongside Hypnotics, who hosts Going Places, and submissions are open right the heck now and close on March 25th. So if you want to check that out, go to chat and type !GG. That command will give you the link to submit to the event if you are interested in submitting to that. Otherwise, keep an eye out for it on early April 9th and 10th for a 2-day marathon. It's going to be really awesome. And then finally, tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern, we have Castlevania Castlevania Aria of Sorrow on the first step with J Hobbs and Keys are on. They're wonderful. You should come support them at 7 p.m. Eastern. But for now, we're going to take one last wellness break as we prepare a raid for you all. Go send everyone, or whoever it is that we send y'all to, go send them all the love in the world that you can. So thank you all so much. Take care of yourselves and have a good rest of your night.